Welcome, everyone, to episode 437 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. I'm your host, Dan.
I'm Eric.
Will.
Corey.
And welcome to our, I don't even know what year it is, 5th annual Thumbies Awards for the Thumbstick Athletes podcast.
Probably 6th.
Yeah, I can't remember when we started doing specifically the Thumbies.
2013 was the Last of Us Bioshock debacle.
Okay, so
right?
that might have been the first year of the Thumbies. I know we didn't have Thumbies the first year we did this. It was only partial year, obviously, because we started in 2011, and I think we just did like standard awards in 2012 maybe. So you might be right. 2013 must be the first year that we've done the Thumbies.
And boy, we got Game of the Year right that year.
Sure, we did.
That's no.
Debatable to this day. So yeah,
very much so.
Yeah, the way we used to do it too, for those of that have listened for a while, we used to cast votes for them. But that because our gaming experience has kind of changed over the past few years, we figured it would be better to come in and decide on categories live. We each brought a few games for each category, and we will discuss it and hash it out, similarly to how we did last week's episode on Game of the Decade, where we just kind of figured it out as a group and tried to come to some kind of consensus. So that's how it's going to go.
As the archivist, I will tell you that 2012 would be the first Thumbies. 2011 is when we just did generic awards.
Okay, it was 2012 then that we started.
Wow.
Yes, that
Okay.
they were called the Thumbies.
Perfect. So
And
that's
that
longer than I
was
thought.
Ken, correct?
Yep.
Came up with that.
Ken Maney of he has the Ocho Duro Parlay Hour podcast now. So yeah, he's been on a few of our episodes too. So I'll actually
What's his podcast about?
I think it's like I've never listened. It's general entertainment, I'm pretty sure.
Oh. All right.
Yeah. I feel bad for not having listened, but I don't listen to anything. So
Yeah,
I don't
you'll have to
I don't listen to our episode or our episodes even.
you have to send me the name again. I'll
Yeah,
listen to
yeah.
it.
Well, I'll text it to you guys. So yeah, I guess we'll get down. We've got a lot of categories. I think we have 24 awards this year, so we'll get right into it. The first being the one that got away. So the one that got away, the award goes out to a game that was enjoyed, but we stopped playing for whatever reason. Eric, will start with you. What do you want to put forth for a nominee?
Oh man. So I can only give you one?
No, give a couple.
All right, here's the thing. I have 6 for this one.
Oh, okay.
Because I am, very well known for games getting away from me.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had to pick like a top 3, I guess I would probably go with Borderlands 3 for sure. Outer Worlds and Sekiro.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Corey, what do you got?
I've got Sunless Skies,
Mm-hmm.
Sky, Children of the Light. Actually, I'm not sure how to pronounce. I'm not sure the flow of that title. I don't know if anyone else is.
That's the mobile one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Metro Exodus. And I'm not sure if this one counts. You guys can tell me if it doesn't. But I don't see why it wouldn't. It's Trine 4. I bought it. I installed it. I just haven't played it yet.
Sure, that counts.
Well, I don't think that counts because would probably go under a different category.
He hadn't started. Yeah, that would go under game you wish you played.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Okay.
You didn't technically
Didn't get
play
away
it.
from it. You just didn't start it.
That's
There you
true.
go. That's
But I did pay for it.
good
Tried to fucking
justification.
sneak one in there, Corey.
I've got one that I paid for too that I didn't get a chance to play. I bought it a few days ago and I was like, I'm gonna play this before the Thumbies, and I of course didn't. But we'll get there. So my nominees are also Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, Outer Wilds, Astral Chain, Gears 5, and Kingdom Hearts 3. Those are my nominees for the one that got away. What do you got, Will?
I also have Astral Chain,
Mm-hmm.
Kingdom Hearts 3, Wargroove, Outer Wilds, Link's Awakening, and Borderlands 3.
Okay, so we got a couple Sekiros, couple Borderlands 3s.
Let me throw
couple
this out
Astral
there,
Chains.
Dan.
Let's hear it.
I had 6, I told you, and I only
Yep.
gave you 3. I had Outer Wilds on my list as well.
Okay.
So since that was a couple other people's, we'll throw that in there in the mix for me.
Okay. Corey had nobody had the same games as Corey.
No.
No. So Corey's not in this discussion, as it turns out.
Actually, I'm not leaving this episode until we pick Trine 4 for the one that got away.
That's the hill Corey's gonna die on
Getting it out of the way early.
right off the bat.
Yeah.
I don't know. You might be half serious or fully serious, Eric, but I'll just throw this in there. The one game that you guys mentioned that I'm like, yeah, I probably should get back to that would be Sekiro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have Sekiro on your list, Will?
No, I played it, didn't like it.
Okay.
So that was me with Outer Wilds.
Yeah.
As we've talked about, I started it. I probably gave it about 10, 15 minutes and shut it off because I was frustrated as all hell. But the reason I put it on there is because I like in just looking at games media and listening to you talk, Dan, and I've just heard so many good things about it.
Yeah.
And like people just love it that I'm thinking to myself, I really feel like I should give it another shot. So that's why I put it under. And I had played it, so I couldn't put it under, game that I missed or something like that. So
Right. Gotcha.
I would be happy with that. I would prefer Sekiro. Because I think it's a better game.
Mm-hmm.
And really the only reason it super got away from me is because of the difficulty, which makes it more lengthy than I can really accommodate.
That's actually kind of where I was going to go with that too. With Sekiro, I played it as far as I could, and I beat as many bosses as I thought I could without needing to spend like a significant amount of time trying to beat one boss. I ran into a bunch of dead ends, and that's something else came out like in addition to that. So that's also why I kind of stopped playing it. It wasn't because I just stopped playing it, like a few of these other games. That one was one I kind of hit a brick wall with.
So Dan, did you beat Outer Wilds?
I did not.
Oh, okay. I thought you did.
It's on my list for the one that got away. I've probably spent maybe 15 or 18 hours in it.
Okay.
A lot of that was putzing around.
Okay, so would we all agree that it's between Sekiro and Outer Wilds?
Probably.
Yes.
Because my other games are on there. Gears 5. Kingdom Hearts 3. Astral Chain is one I feel bad not playing more of, too. That's one I just kind of...
Well, you both had that.
Yep. Yeah, but that only had 2.
Yeah.
I mean,
the other games would have had 3.
I personally would rather Astral Chain or Borderlands, but I also think Sekiro is probably the most deserving to win.
I could get behind Borderlands as well. That was on my list.
Corey, is that on your list?
No. No, but I'm not gonna fight for it to not be. I guess I don't feel strongly enough about Sekiro to really argue for that one. If you guys are thinking Borderlands,
I think.
I mean, which of those games, Eric? Which of those games would you most be likely to return to?
Oh, definitely Borderlands, but I think that's again because of the difficulty curve with Sekiro.
Yeah.
I love all those games, but the thought of jumping into a Souls-ish game is just so daunting.
Especially after you've been away from it for a little while.
Oh yeah.
Because I really wanted to play because my wife was interested in Sekiro when we were watching the Game Awards.
Yeah.
Which is like, I'd like to watch you play some of that again, and I was like, yeah, I do want to play it again. I just I have to practice a little bit first before I embarrass myself on it. So. What about you, Will? What game are you most likely to return to? Do you want to go that route for this award?
Between
Game you're likely to return to, maybe?
honestly Borderlands or Astral Chain. I mean, looking at my list, the only game that I don't know if I'll go back to would be Outer Wilds.
Okay.
But like Astral Chain, Kingdom Hearts, Wargroove, Link's Awakening, Borderlands, they're like I plan to go back to all of those.
Okay.
So Corey, do you feel strongly enough about Sekiro to overpower 2 votes for Astral Chain or Outer Wilds
or Borderlands? Even do you look at it this way: Borderlands or Sekiro? Which would you rather have as the winner for the one that got away?
When you put it like that,
because there's only 2 Astral Chains.
Yeah. Gosh, probably Borderlands, to be honest. Now that I think about it, when you put them side by side like that.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd be good with Borderlands. That was actually
Borderlands
the first one on my list.
Okay. So that means something too. Borderlands 3 it is then.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, now that I think about I didn't even really scratch the surface of the multiplayer stuff.
No.
Which I was really interested in.
Yep.
So, yeah, I do feel good about that.
Did any of us beat it either?
I didn't.
I didn't.
Mm-mm.
I don't beat games.
Overrated.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right, so the 2019 Thumby Award for the one that got away is Borderlands 3.
Only took 10 minutes.
That's not too bad.
230 more minutes.
I want to give a shout out to Eric and Corey in the chat, getting everything lively.
Yeah, getting it going.
Hype.
Stirring it up.
Hyping up.
Hype.
All right, so 2019's 2018 Game of the Year. This award, of course, goes out to the game that came out last year that we spent the most time playing this year. I'll go first. I have 2 nominees, which are Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and Red Dead Redemption 2. Will, what are your games?
I've got Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Octopath Traveler, God of War, Hollow Knight, Spire Reignited, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
That's a good list. What do you got, Eric?
I think I only played 2. So I have Red Dead Redemption 2 and Super Smash Ultimate.
Okay. Corey?
Super Smash Ultimate, Red Dead 2, and Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Kingdom Come Deliverance. Okay. So I think for me the one for me would probably be Smash Brothers Ultimate, only because I still continually play that. We play that with our kids like 3 or 4 times a week probably.
We all had it, right?
We all have it, yeah. So that would be my primary vote. I'm okay with Red Dead Redemption 2 because I really liked it, and I do plan on returning to it. But I'll probably buy it on PC and maybe play it sometime next year.
I want to abstain from this conversation because I don't like Red Dead, but I have a bias to that, so I don't think it's fair for me to really weigh in.
Well,
To be fair,
Why do you have a bias?
I really do not like Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh,
that's
Well,
fine.
that doesn't mean you're biased. It's just you don't like
you don't
it.
like it.
But the thing is, I'm not going to be... I don't want to hold up the 2018-2019's Game of the Year with me thinking it should be Smash Brothers.
Why is that holding it up?
It's not. All 4 of us had that on our list.
It's your opinion. What you
I
think
assumed everyone was going to pick Red Dead. That's
Okay.
why.
Well, that would be my first choice.
I'm okay with Red Dead. For me, it's definitely more Smash Brothers Ultimate because I still actively play it.
I still actively play it too.
Corey?
I would like to point out that Will can dislike Red Dead 2 and also be biased towards Red Dead 2. Both things can be true.
I make no qualms. I am biased against Rockstar Games at this point,
Yes.
I would say.
That said, I had Super Smash above Red Dead as my 2018 Game of the Year. I'm good with either. I think for me, I interpret this award a little bit differently. It has to be a game that I have played this year, but I also think of it in terms of which games are top of mind for me. Like which games am I rolling around in my head, thinking about a lot, talking a lot about. And for me, that was Smash.
Yeah.
See, that would be Red Dead for me, but I'm still good with Smash.
Okay. So do you have anything you want to fight strongly for outside of?
I mean, I would
Smash?
pick Odyssey or Hollow Knight before any of them, but
Okay.
I'm good with Smash.
All right. Corey, you only had the 2
Smash.
games.
Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Oh, Kingdom Come. No one else played that.
I
I'm not
wanted to
gonna
play
play
that.
It's worth experiencing, for
It's
sure.
on Game Pass, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I bought it like the month before it was on Game Pass.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
That sucks.
That's frustrating. Okay. So it's looking like Smash. Anyone want to make a strong case for Red Dead 2?
No, I think I'm plenty happy with Smash.
Happy with Smash. Okay. All right. So the winner of the 2018 Game of the Year is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Awesome.
All right.
Moving right along. I'm gonna write it down because otherwise I will completely forget.
Hey, you got to tweet out the awards to the developers, Dan.
I have an idea of stuff to do. I just have to implement it.
Yeah.
It all comes down to execution.
Yeah. You got to give the team some water cooler
Some credit.
talk.
Yeah. Hey, did you hear we won a? Yeah. It's such a dumb award, but I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Award number 3 is Best Multiplayer Experience. So this award goes out to a game that excels in the areas of multiplayer, both online and in person. Corey, we'll start with you.
I had World of Warcraft Classic, Super Mario Maker 2, Gears 5, and Dr. Mario World.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
Wow.
Eric.
No Borderlands, Corey.
No.
Wow. Okay, well, I had Borderlands 3, Call of Duty Mobile, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Apex Legends, and Tetris 99.
Will?
I have
Wool.
Dan Wool. Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Borderlands 3, Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Okay. I also had Mario Maker 2. I had Duty Mobile also. I had Gears 5 and also WoW Classic. So we're kind of all over the board on this one.
I left one off my list.
So did I.
Forgot. Well, it's on my list. It's just on the page break. I missed it. Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition.
Ooh, yeah, I'm adding that one too.
I'm adding Gears 5 to my list too. I don't know why I didn't put that in there.
Yeah, that the one time we played Horde mode, that was a blast.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it was only one time, but it was a lot of fun.
Since it came up, I can bring up why I didn't have Borderlands 3.
I'd like to hear
Sure.
that.
So I did think of it, and it's not because I didn't enjoy the multiplayer experience. It's that I felt, in thinking about it, the games on my list, I got more out of as a multiplayer game than I did in Borderlands 3. And by that I mean, I really like Borderlands 3 as a game. I love the single player experience, and the multiplayer experience is more of the same, just with someone else. At least what I've played. I haven't played the other modes that are a little bit more multiplayer focused.
Okay.
Like it. Eric, what are you feeling strongly about?
Well, it doesn't sound like I'm gonna get any support for Borderlands.
I'm with you with Borderlands, Eric.
Oh, you are.
100%, yeah.
You are. It's funny that I left Gears 5 off my list because I would probably put that towards the top. I don't know what I was doing there. God.
I forgot WoW
don't wanna
Classic for a lot of my awards. I had to
yeah,
go
we
back
should
through
play that.
after.
I almost want to say Call of Duty Mobile, but at the same time, I think the only reason I really, really like that is because I was surprised how good it was for a mobile game.
Yeah,
Not necessarily like it blowing me out of the water as a multiplayer experience.
sure.
Jeez, I don't know. Apex Legends was really fun too for a little while. I guess I would probably say either Borderlands 3 or Gears 5
Okay.
would be the two I'd be happiest with.
Wool.
I have, just to run through them really quick, like Pokemon Sword and Shield, it's not a serious one that I'm going to fight for. It's just a game that me and my friends Pokemon battle pretty much against each other every day and do different teams to try and beat each other. And that brings out the trash talk between all of us, which is kind of fun. So that's like a personal one that I kind of enjoy because it's really fun to be nerdy and talk about how much better my Pokemon
Trash talk.
Yeah.
There's a lot more of
It's
that
a
than
category all itself.
there's a lot more of that going on than you could possibly imagine.
Oh, we go at each other at work about it.
The thought had never crossed my mind, honestly.
Oh, there's some sort of server that people play some Pokemon game on, and the things people say to each other on that, it's unbelievable. It's vile.
We'll be FaceTiming during the fight, and I'll just be like, oh, yeah, taking down your Flygon. Look at that. Child's play. Stuff like that, just to get under each other's skin. So that's like a personal one that I have a lot of fun with. But really, like, Age of Empires 2 of Definitive Edition, Borderlands 3, and Modern Warfare are 3 games that I'm fine with giving it to because I think all of those games are fantastic in their own way. If I were to pick a number 1, I'd put Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and then probably Borderlands, and then Age of Empires. Is how
I could get behind Duty.
I think the new Call of Duty is fantastic.
It is really good. And there's a lot of camping, which is my specialty now.
Oh, camping's the best.
Ooh, maybe I gotta get this.
Yeah, this is straight up our alley.
Now's
Corey,
the
I'm telling
time.
Play to win, right?
you. Put a couple claymores down behind you, sit in a window.
Sip some iced tea while I wait.
There's actually a really funny video on YouTube saying crossing a street in Modern Warfare is like this, and it's just a guy camping with like a little tiny shot that you can make, and then somebody goes by it and he picks him off. It's just like, yeah, it encapsulates Call of Duty.
Nice. I don't necessarily feel strongly about any of my choices. I also put Duty Mobile on there, Eric, but for the same reason as you, just because it's a surprisingly good mobile game, and I don't know that it would hold its weight against some of the other games that I played. WoW Classic was amazing, and I had a blast when me, Corey, and Reefer played it together. But just it's another one of those time sink games, which I try not to get myself involved in. Although I started liking Fortnite a couple months later, so there's that. But Mario Maker 2, I like the online stuff for that. And then Gears 5, that would probably be towards the top of my list too. Horde mode is a lot of fun in that. I don't necessarily as much like the regular multiplayer as much, but the Horde it was excellent this go around. So I don't think we have much of a consensus here, do we?
No, doesn't sound that way.
Kind of all over the place. All right, go ahead, Eric.
I was just going to ask. I couldn't remember what games Corey was strongly on board for.
Yeah, so I'm a little disappointed, Dan, that you're not willing to fight for World of Warcraft Classic.
That would probably be my number one, to be honest.
I'm sorry, it's been a long week. Holy smokes!
Here's what I'll say.
Go ahead.
I didn't play that, but I know I would have loved it.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be heartbroken if that won.
Okay.
Yeah, I felt strongly about it. It was my number one. I was trying to think about like how to describe the experience, and to me, it's kind of like the RPG version of playing cards, where you kind of just can half pay attention, but it's more about just hanging out and chatting and catching up and doing something that's semi-mindless and sometimes kind of exciting. I don't know.
And then at the higher levels, it is completely engaging if you want it to be.
Right. Yes. Yep.
Okay.
How was the crafting in the game, though?
The crafting? I didn't get to that part. I didn't get that game. But no, yeah, I was kind of bummed that we never revisited it. But it was my clear number one. I had Super Mario Maker 2, which was another one I felt strongly about, only because I really, really enjoyed I forget the game mode now, but it's just the race mode. Speed run, where you play against 3 other players and random creations from random people. I don't know, it's so much fun, so much mayhem, and some of the levels that are kind of like puzzly, where everybody's trying to figure out the level just to beat it first, is a lot of fun.
Yeah. All right. So should we go split here?
Well, here's my thing. I don't feel like super strongly about any of mine, to be perfectly honest.
Okay.
Same here.
Didn't we all have Gears on our list though?
I did.
I did.
I didn't.
Will didn't. Okay.
I would rather it go to a game that you guys are more passionate about, like a Mario Maker or a World of Warcraft.
I'd be happier with Warcraft than Mario Maker, personally.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed Gears 2. Gears, honestly, would probably be my first choice on my list, based solely off of Horde mode. That's just such a cool mode. It's so much fun with other people. And like you guys said, like, I don't think any of us plan on staying up and beating the whole Horde mode.
No.
That one night.
Wasn't it like 3.5 or 4 hours that we played it?
Yeah. And it just flies by, and like I think a couple of us were me and Corey, I think we're half asleep by the end of it.
I definitely was half asleep.
Yeah.
Maybe more than half.
Right. But it's just so fun, and like that's honestly the only part of Gears of War that I get excited about anymore is like the Horde mode.
Yeah.
So I do always have a really good time with that. But that being said, if you guys felt strongly about Warcraft, I would be good with that.
What do you think, Corey? Warcraft?
I feel strongly about it.
Okay. Sounds good. Warcraft works. Warcraft?
We're gonna Warcraft.
Yeah.
All right. So the winner...
Who would have thought in 2019? Go ahead, Dan. I ruined your...
No, that's fine. So yeah, the winner of the 2019 Thumbie for Best Multiplayer Experience is World of Warcraft Classic. Very nice.
Fair enough.
If you told 2011 us in 8 years we'd be giving an award to World of Warcraft.
No way, Jose. I was an EverQuest loyalist.
Oh yeah.
So as it turns out, I don't have number 4 on my list. Did I just misnumber these?
Oh, damn.
Is the next one most complete experience for you guys?
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
the only thing I was confused about, Dan, you said we were gonna move up game we wish we had played.
Yeah, I didn't end up doing that, so maybe
Okay.
that's where the confusion was.
That could have been the confusion. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the next award is the most complete experience. It goes to a game that comes in a well-rounded and tidy package. Will, what do you got?
So I have Fire Emblem Three Houses, Devil May Cry 5, and Outer Worlds.
Mm-hmm. Eric?
Yes, I have Borderlands 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and Devil May Cry 5.
Nice. Corey?
I had Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, Borderlands 3, The Outer Worlds, and
Wow.
World of Warcraft Classic.
Wow.
I don't know what's got my tongue today.
Cat.
I've got Mario Maker 2, Pokemon Sword and Shield, and also Fire Emblem Three Houses. So we're kind of all over the board here. Did everyone have the Outer Worlds?
I did not.
Okay. That was a Will and Corey one.
Yeah.
Did you have Outer Worlds, Corey?
I sure did, Dan.
Okay.
And you did, Dan?
No, I only had Mario Maker 2, Pokemon Sword and Shield, and Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Wow.
Okay.
All Nintendo. Games.
I'll jump in here and throw out the way I like to think about this award is the game that has the least barriers to enjoyment. And for me, that was Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. I just savored every second of that game. Borderlands 3 is another one where, there, other than some of the online stuff and some of the bugs and stuff, I felt like it checked all the boxes. It was a fun game, well crafted, pretty to look at, well written, funny. Yeah. It did a lot of things really well, and very few things hindered my enjoyment of it. As we get down to the Outer Worlds, I feel less strongly about that, but still I feel like it's a nice package, good value, a lot going on in that game. And World of Warcraft Classic, of course. Great value.
Corey, I would say I feel like if I had played Zelda, that probably would have been on my list for this one. I just didn't play it, but I could definitely see that being a good candidate for this. I kind of looked at it the same way. I guess my thought was with Borderlands and Call of Duty especially, you're getting a good multiplayer experience or a good single player experience, and there wasn't really anything, like Corey said, standing in your way of having those experiences. I guess I would say Call of Duty was probably a little more tidy because it didn't have any of the issues that Borderlands was having. I also liked that the Call of Duty campaign is really short. It's just really short, action-packed, and fun. And the multiplayer was really good as well. So I thought that was a good one for this. Devil May Cry 5 would probably be my last choice for this on my list. Just because, again, the other two have that multiplayer element that I think is good for most complete package.
What about you, Will?
I would also add Call of Duty Modern Warfare to the list because Eric makes a really good point, and I think the game as a whole is a very solid game. I would say I'd probably have Devil May Cry 5 at the top, just solely because of how fun the game is, how there's really no barrier to going in and just slaying a bunch of demons with crazy combos, crazy weapons, and honestly, the combo system isn't that hard to get a hang of. Really, one of my friends who doesn't even play video games tried that game out and had a blast playing it, and was having fun with the different combos, the different weapons you can equip. It's just a lot. There's good humor to it too. The game is just zany and really funny, so there's that going for it too, which is a good thing. I just think it's a overall really solid game, really fun, and it's a game that I look back fondly and kind of want to play more of. But go ahead, Eric.
Sorry, I just was thinking back. I totally spaced and didn't put that one on the one that got away. That probably would have been my number one. Didn't even think, but neither here nor there at this point.
Let's revisit.
Yeah.
Back to the beginning.
Outer Worlds, and we talked about it a little bit already. Fire Emblem Three Houses is another game that I think is an incredible package. There's 4 different stories to the game, a lot of different characters. The cast is really strong, combat's really fun. It's not for everybody though, the strategic element to the game, so I probably wouldn't put that as a winner for complete experience. So I'd probably rank it Devil May Cry, Call of Duty, Outer Worlds, Fire Emblem Three Houses.
No Borderlands.
So I tried really hard to not put games under the games that got away category for other awards because I played 3 hours of Borderlands.
Okay.
So I felt a little dirty trying to give it too many awards.
The other thing I like about Borderlands 2 for this category is Borderlands also, I should say, I guess, is the humor. I think that makes it even maybe more of a complete package because it's really got something for everybody because it's got your loot whoring, it's funny, it looks really cool, the action's fun, all the different weapons, the different like RPG elements that are in it. The more I think about it, I feel like that's a really good one for this.
Yeah, it's a good point too. I feel like humor is a good sign that a game is polished because if you're developing a game, I feel like that's like the last thing you'll worry about.
Yeah, if it's funny.
Yeah, and if it's actually funny and they've done a good job at that, I do feel like it's indicative of what else is going on in the game.
Yeah, I think it's also something that takes time to get right.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
You can throw dialogue into anything and it'll be fine, but you've gotta set up the jokes and all that stuff. So yeah, I think that you're right, Corey. That
comedy is all about timing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Borderlands has quite the package.
It does. That's probably the one I'm most passionate about for this one.
Okay. Corey, you also had Borderlands 3?
Yeah, that was my number 2, just behind Link's Awakening. So I would be okay with that one if that's where we're leaning.
I'm fine with it too. I don't feel particularly strongly about any of my games. I would probably pick Fire Emblem, but that is a complete, well-rounded package for me, not necessarily everyone else. So
yeah,
cool. Borderlands 3.
Yeah, Borderlands is good.
All right, Borderlands 3 it is.
Hey.
The winner of the Thumby Award for 2019 Thumbies for most complete experience is Borderlands 3.
Bringing in some hardware, Borderlands 3 is.
Yeah, two out of 3 categories.
That's what happens when you start working in averages, right?
No, it's just a really good game, Corey.
How dare you? All right. So, next category is the Breath of Fresh Air Award. So this award goes to a game that brings a little something new to the table outside of your run-of-the-mill FPS or open-world RPG, though it could be one of those with a twist. I nominate Outer Wilds, Untitled Goose Game, Luigi's Mansion 3, and Cadence of Hyrule. Will.
I had one game, Outer Wilds.
Outer Wilds. Okay. Eric?
So I had Star Wars Fallen Order, only because there's finally a decent Star Wars game, so that was a breath of fresh air for me.
That is a fair point.
Slay the Spire, which I don't feel like we have really given anywhere near the due that game is worthy of.
I haven't played it.
Oh, you have to play it.
I know.
It's on Game Pass.
Oh, is it?
Oh God, yeah, that's how I'm playing it.
I didn't.
Damn, it's fantastic.
I didn't know that.
You'll like it.
Okay.
I said Outer Worlds, and I'm gonna put Outer Wilds on my list too because I think the problem with that game is I'm just really bad at it and I have no patience. I can definitely appreciate what it does, but it would be the last one on my list.
Gotcha.
I will make that clear. The one I'm probably most passionate about on there is probably Slay the Spire.
Mm-hmm. Sparky?
Yeah, so I'll preface my list by saying it's none of these games are new ideas. Number one is... Go ahead.
Real quick, I felt that way about almost everything I played this year. I was like, nothing's like fresh.
Yeah, well, I feel like we've had such a good run of awesome indie innovative games, and now I feel like at least I'm kind of in that postmodern feeling of like, all right, now let's go back and look at some of the things that we're kind of tired of and perfect them and make them really neat. But anyway, my number one is Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, which is a Souls game, but it's just, for me, it's still refreshing because I just love those games and that style of game so much that you just can't have enough of it. So anytime one of them comes out and it's really good, it's a breath of fresh air for me, even though
it's just different enough too by setting.
Just gonna say that it's different enough in the way it controls too. It's different enough than the other Souls games.
Yes. Yep. My number two is World of Warcraft Classic. which is kind of like
a stale there, isn't it?
yeah, and that's kind of, and I haven't really articulated my argument for why it was refreshing for me, but maybe it's just refreshing because it's so nostalgic, and I just haven't had that in a while to that level. Although I mean, I guess
breath of nostalgia.
Yeah,
Corey's
fresh
game
breath
of
of
Corey's game of the year is Warcraft. I can tell already.
Warcraft. It is not. I didn't play nearly enough of it to award it that. But there's that one, and then I also had Star Wars for the same reason Eric had. It's just nice to have a good Star Wars game again.
Okay. So once again, we're a little bit all over the board. So I had Outer Wilds because it's different. It's different in that it's primarily a game about exploration. It's very heavily science based, but there's also, I don't know, Will, you haven't played enough to know what the hook of the game is, right?
I've only gotten like 2 hours in. It's one of those games I tried to like beat by the end of the year, and I just ran out of time.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of puzzles, so I don't. You probably would. That's not one you can really.
So.
You can't really run through that one necessarily. But yeah, just the things that it made me feel and experience. I didn't get that in any other game I've played in probably a few years. I won't. Well, I'll have to spoil it later, but we'll get there. Untitled Goose Game was a relaxing game, relaxing kind of stealth puzzle game. Unique in that, when have you ever gotten to play as a goose that's a jerk to people in a video game? Luigi's Mansion 3, a game I really liked. The last Luigi's Mansion came out like 10 years ago. There's nothing else like it. And then Cadence of Hyrule was different because it's a Legend of Zelda game. It's similar, obviously it's in the same vein as Crypt of the Necrodancer, but with all the Legend of Zelda music, and it looked like you were playing A Link to the Past, but to a beat. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go. I feel most strongly about Outer Wilds. That's the one I would probably put at the top of my list.
Outer Wilds is definitely a hipster game, so I do think it fits this category.
I will concede that it is a hipster game, yeah, because of the people that loved it. One of the people that loved it was Jason Schreier. That was that was his game of the year.
Do we like him?
I do. I think he does great reporting.
Did Patrick Klepek like it, Corey?
I don't know if
I don't know.
I don't like, right?
I don't really follow him anymore.
Or at least I don't like.
He probably loved it.
Just with the folk music, the space setting,
the beanies.
The beanies. I don't know. The plaid.
I totally agree.
I think it's a great pick for this category.
I think so. Is my point, yeah.
Okay. So we're all good with Outer Wilds then?
Yeah.
Should we rename this category? Is that what you're getting at?
The hipster.
The hipster's pick for best breath of fresh air.
Instead of an award, it's a beanie in the summer.
I love that title.
The game everyone liked before it was cool to like.
The game that was different, just like all the other games. I think that's great.
I love it.
So we'll be also simultaneously renaming their award.
I love
So
that.
we're all good with Outer Wilds, just to double check.
I'm good with it.
Okay.
Good with it, yeah.
All right. So the winner of the 2019 Thumbie for Breath of Fresh Air is Outer Wilds. All right.
Oh, boy.
Okay. The next category is Please Stop. This award goes out to a game or industry practice that seriously needs to stop. Eric, we'll start with you.
I only have one.
Okay.
And it's Gears 5.
Gears 5.
Yep. I've said it so many times on here. I'm just so tired.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the Xbox IPs are just
so
long in the tooth at this point, and you can say I don't give it its due by not playing the campaign or whatever, but the reason I don't play the campaign is because I just am not interested.
Yeah, it was okay. I played probably about a third of it. It was, I don't remember much of it.
It's like the sun coming up in the morning. It's all right,
it's there.
It'll happen. It's gonna be decent.
Yeah, you know you're gonna have a sunny day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you
But,
live in
like-
Binghamton, the sun doesn't come up.
Right.
That's how I feel about it too, Eric, and it's unfortunate. I mean, I think it's also good that they're still able to make a good Gears game because
Sure.
it's not easy to do 5 games, and although some of them weren't good, right? I don't really know the
They're
lineage
all the
that
same
much.
to me. They
Yeah,
all
it's
are-
just it's
can
not
feel the same.
exciting, but they have to do it, because otherwise, what else is there?
Yeah.
But have their job is to be creative. Like, it's a creative industry.
Yeah,
And there's just no creativity. I know they're trying because
You're
they purchased all these studios and stuff, but hopefully the next cycle of systems is going to bring a little more to the table. Like we talked about, maybe it was last week, we talked about the launch of the new system and how it's going to launch with Halo Infinite. And it's like, all right, like, I like Halo as much as the next guy does, but at the same time, like, it doesn't do much for me anymore.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at with Gears too. So hopefully, with all the studios they've picked up and all the new power of the systems, they can get something new to the table.
This is off the topic a little bit, but I think the Gears Tactics game is supposed to launch pretty soon.
April.
April?
Mhm.
Okay.
I am looking forward to that one.
Yeah, because it's XCOM basically in the
Yep.
Gears universe.
I like that. And have you played Gears Pop on mobile?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that was fun for. I think I played it for about a week, maybe.
I played that one for a while
Did
actually.
you?
Yeah.
It was a good time. I like that you could get actual Xbox achievements for it too.
Yeah.
That was fun. All right,
Yeah.
Corey, what needs to stop?
I've got 2, and I feel like this second one we might be able to have a little bit of discussion on.
Okay.
So my number 1 is review embargoes.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really have a good argument prepared for why I think it needs to stop, but I'll ask the question, who do they help? I feel like we live in an era now where hiding your reviews isn't really going to make a big difference
Well, I think
in
what
your overall sales.
I think what it does, because I kind of agree with you, Corey. But what they do is they try to make sure that when you're reviewing a game, you don't rush through the game to get your review out before anyone else to get all the clicks. So that's why they have a time frame. However, someone like Nintendo, I think, does it right in that the review will go up a week. I think at the minimum, it's like 2 days before the game comes out. Whereas a game like Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order was after the actual release, the reviews could go up.
Right. And you're right, Dan. I should have been a little more specific in saying, release day review embargoes.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No, I agree. That doesn't help anybody.
Yes, it's silly.
Yeah.
I can get behind that.
It's silly. In fact, I think it might hurt more. It probably hurts more than it helps.
I'm sure.
I think if reviews for the Star Wars game came out a week ahead of time, it probably would have done even better than it did.
Yeah.
But who knows? My second one is, and we did talk about this quite a bit at the beginning of the year, and then it kind of faded. But difficulty as a tenant of gameplay, and speaking specifically to Sekiro, I feel like I had an argument, and then we kind of forgot what my argument actually was, and then I was just painted as the guy that said Sekiro's too hard, they shouldn't make hard games. And that wasn't my point.
No, that never would have happened.
Yeah, of course not. But yeah, so for me it's and I'm gonna pull in an anecdote, and it's Brad Schumacher's experience with The Witness when he was playing The Witness to review it. And he had to get his review up by a certain time of day, and The Witness is a notoriously challenging puzzle game, especially towards the end. And I just remember him describing the rage he was in, just walking around, flipping stuff over, pulling his hair out, just so frustrated, and not finding any help, because the only other people he could ask are people who were also reviewing the game, and they didn't necessarily have the answers he needed. And I just think man, could you imagine? Thankfully with Sekiro, I was able to look up videos on how to beat some of these bosses. But if I didn't even have that, oh my God. So I'll also add that I support the artist's creative vision. If that's the type of game they want to make, that's totally fine. But then I also feel like I reserve the right to critique it accordingly.
Right.
If I feel like it's too difficult and it hinders my enjoyment of the game, then why can't I knock it down a score?
Yeah.
Half a score point, or a full point, or whatever.
You can, but then you have to be prepared to face the backlash.
Yeah.
from the gaming community.
I don't think that's fair. And let me just finish, and then I'll let you guys say whatever. But and it got me wondering, like, is that something maybe the industry should police itself on? And what I mean by that is maybe just like adding something that's standard to the back of the box that lists difficulty modes or has a disclaimer or something, because it's also like difficulty in video games is also an accessibility thing, right? So kids would have a really hard time with this type of game. Not that maybe they shouldn't be playing it, but people who are just maybe a little bit slower for whatever reason would get no enjoyment out of the game. And I just feel like maybe there should be some sort of disclaimer on the box or an indicator that lists like this game has 3 different difficulty modes, just something like that, some sort of olive branch that says, you know, like, we think in order for you to get the most out of this game, we need to make it difficult, but we also need to be transparent about that. And I think if they're more transparent about it too, I would be less likely when I'm reviewing it to say this game was so hard it hindered my enjoyment of it. I'd be like, this game was designed this way. They're very open. They're very upfront about it. I mean, I guess we can kind of expect it with this developer, but that's my rant.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with you, but I would say I could see both sides. I don't think they were ever not transparent about it, especially because everybody knows the developer.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that's true. I really don't. Like, not everybody knows who From Software is. We do.
Not everybody, but the majority of people do. Like,
I'm not sure about that either.
I think I'm really
not.
I think the burden is on the consumer to
I agree.
not throw money at whatever and expect,
Completely agree.
If you're gonna just buy a game sight unseen without knowing, okay, this is from Software, they're a developer of notoriously difficult games. It has no online, which you talked about, Corey, with the Souls game specifically being kind of the bridge, to help out the people like me. I mean, I used to help on some of the bosses in Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 3. Not Dark Souls 1. Everything I beat in that one I soloed, but yeah, no, I think it's on the consumer to not just buy whatever.
I mean, the people who are going to be reviewing that game are going to be familiar with From Software. The average consumer might not be, though. I mean, you're talking to somebody who didn't like Sekiro because it was so hard, too.
Yeah, but were you surprised by that?
No, but I'm smarter than the average consumer.
Well, I don't know. That's up for you to say, but I agree with Dan. I feel like the free market is the best way to handle pretty much anything. So I would rather have all these options out there. And to me, it's like, especially with all of the accessibility that we have with the internet now, to do research before you buy something. I do that with everything.
Yeah.
Like literally everything I buy.
A $5 purchase, I'll read reviews for if I buy something from Amazon.
I
just
feel
to
like
know what to expect.
This day and age, it's to me, it's on the consumer to do that because, like I said, it is a creative, and you mentioned that, Corey. It's not you feel that the developer should be able to make what they want to make, and it's an artistic and creative outlet. So, to me, it's like Dan said, it's on the consumer to do their research before you make a purchase. And if you can't wait a couple days after a game comes out, then that's on you for not having self-control, to me.
All right, so let's get away from the second half of the argument, which was I feel like there should be more communication about the difficulty level in a game like that. Okay. And refer back to the point about do I, as a critiquer and a reviewer, have a right to negatively score the game because the difficulty hindered my enjoyment?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I feel like most people are against that as well, and I don't think that's right.
That.
I'm not against that.
But that's also, I mean, again, there's so many different outlets out there that are reviewing games at this point, and like, if you did any sort of research on we'll take Sekiro because that's what you're talking about. If you did any sort of research on Sekiro, you would clearly see a path that leads back to Dark Souls. You could look up those reviews. You could look up the same guy writing reviews for that. Like, there's just so much you could look at to say, look at say it's Jason Schreier or whatever. Look at his reviews. Do your opinions line up with this guy? If they don't, well, then maybe read some other reviews about the game. Do your opinions line up with that person? I just think there's so much information out there that I agree that reviewers should be able to knock points off for difficulty if they don't like it, because there's enough information out there for people to make a decision regardless of that.
Yeah.
Ditto.
So, yeah. But yeah, fuck card games.
Any other thoughts, Corey or Will?
Well, yeah, that's the thing too. Is it's like you guys listed it as the one that got away because it was so hard, and it's just like, I just feel like there should be maybe something in there that.
No.
Oh, I wish there was an
to me
easy
that's
mode.
my fault though. To me
That's
that's
yeah,
just...
I get it. Like that's the magic of it and everything. It's just I guess it's just frustrating more than anything because I do enjoy that game so much and that style of game and that world. Like I love to be in it, but it just sucks because I'm not going to be able to experience the full package.
Here's a comparison. We talked about this last week, I think, with Star Wars Fallen Order. I'm playing it on the easiest difficulty because I don't want to put the effort and time into getting good at the combat, right?
Yeah.
But I am fully acknowledging that is probably taking away some of the enjoyment that I would be getting from that game because it's really easy.
Right.
And I know that's not how it's meant to be played, but that's on me as a consumer. I know that I'm playing it a way that it's not meant to be played. And the same token, I know that when I bought Sekiro for $60, I'm not going to beat it. I know I'm never going to beat it, but it's on me to know that. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I think if it had difficulty modes, because I'm for the game as it is, I would not have felt the elation that I felt in beating some of those bosses.
Yeah, but then
I
just
feel
play on
nothing when I beat a boss in Fallen Order.
So then
nothing.
Just play on the harder difficulty.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
It is
No,
because
it's not.
you can choose the difficulty that you're gonna play.
No,
on.
I know, but we're talking about a level playing field here. That's not a level playing field.
Is Corey's argument not to have difficulty settings for this game so he can enjoy it more?
No, not if they don't want to put it in there is what I'm saying. And they're if they had any intention on putting an easy mode or whatever in the game, then they would have done so.
So, Corey, you're good with developers making a game that is very hard as long as they're good with you reviewing it appropriately.
Exactly.
I'm on board.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Knocking a few points off of a game because it's too hard.
Yep.
All right. That's all I wanted to hear.
Middle ground.
All right, Will, do you have anything you want to put for Eric, did we do yours?
Yeah.
Where are we? Yeah, I did Gears.
Stop. Okay, Gears. Corey did his. Will, go ahead.
I have one, and it's not one that I'm gonna fight for, but I want to get my shot in at him, Kojima.
Oh. Kojima needs to stop.
I'm so tired of him trying to tell me what I'm going to like. Like, oh, this game, you're not gonna get it. You're a Westerner. Like, bite me. I am so sick of Death Stranding as a game, and I'm so sick of people trying to tell me how revolutionary and how great it is. That game sucks. Terrible.
Did you play it?
No, and I'm not going to.
I have a hard time accepting your argument.
Again, it's something that I've had boiling up all year.
You know what it is? It's UPS Man, Christmas Time Simulator.
Well, the trailers for this game for like 4 years in development. Sorry, I'm yelling.
No, it's fine.
People are telling me how crazy it looks, and I'm like, what are we doing? There's nothing going on other than Norman Reedus and a baby. It's telling you nothing. Nobody knew what this game was until it came out. I'm
still not sure even what you do other than carry packages around.
That's it. And you have to like balance it on a mountain, and you fall over a lot. Like it's so stupid.
I told you last week or a couple weeks ago that I'm weirdly intrigued by it though.
Like I am too.
And your intriguing nature of it has gotten me intrigued.
Yeah. Oh, if I had a PlayStation, I would definitely have Death Stranding.
Me too.
Just out of pure curiosity. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Will.
Yeah, if you want to try to climb a mountain with packages and then fall over and have to pick them up every 10 minutes, that sounds like a blast.
I'd be way too good at carrying them. I wouldn't have to pick them up.
Stupid game.
Great balance.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Will.
I'm with you with that, Will. I am too.
Thank you.
I completely understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, it's just a weird intrigue that I have for the game.
He could do anything. He could do something bad on purpose, and people would try to tell me how great it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it was like crazily well reviewed, though. I think there was definitely a lot of detractors.
Yeah.
Well, you remember the review that I shared on the podcast? Were you on? You were on that episode, right, Eric?
Yeah, I don't remember what you said though.
It was really I don't remember either, but I remember it being really dry and entertaining about how much he disliked the game.
Yes.
Didn't he give it like a 4 or a 6?
3.5, I think.
3.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it definitely had its detractors. It wasn't like huge success
I was
review-wise.
honestly surprised when it was up for Game of the Year.
Me too.
The Game
Exactly.
Awards. I was very surprised.
Well, it's
Well, that's
because
because Jeff Keighley's got a hard-on for Kojima.
and that's where my
Yeah.
whole argument stems from. And Reddit.
No secret there.
That's
Did it win?
It's industry incest, is what that is.
That's
yeah,
why I was
that's
glad
how that happens.
Sekiro won.
Like, it's disgusting that Death Stranding was up for Game of the Year, but games like
Fire
Fire
Emblem.
Emblem weren't up there. Like, that game's 5 times
I
the
think
game.
that was Keighley checking a box.
Yeah, to keep a relationship.
Yeah.
That game sucks.
What one Game of the Year?
Sekiro.
Oh, nice.
I never thought I'd be happy that Sekiro would
I
win
was-
Game of the Year.
I was very
but
happy
like,
Sekiro won.
pumped. 'Cause I thought Death Stranding was going to be rigged to win immediately.
I didn't even think it would be Death Stranding. I thought it would be like Control. I thought would win.
That's another one.
Yeah, I haven't played that, so. But
Well,
anyway,
Control's supposed to be really good.
yeah.
Screw that game.
So my two please stop things are card games for every IP. They're starting to shut down now, so they never should have been made in the first place. Which one was it? Is it Elder Scrolls that's shutting down? The
Yeah,
Elder
Yeah.
Scrolls one?
Legends.
I don't know about shutting down, but they're ceasing development and like no further updates.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's going the same way as the MOBA went a few years ago. You know, everyone tried to come out with the MOBA to try and latch on to the success of League and Dota and Heroes of the Storm, and same thing with card games with Hearthstone. Just stop. And then my last one is making every game a persistent online shooter. You only have to look at Anthem for that. It just was very unnecessary and a waste of BioWare's resources.
Yep.
So those are my two. What do we want to go with here, fellas?
I'm good with any of them that were said, to be honest with you.
Yeah, me too.
Except Kojima. I'm not good with that one.
How dare you, Will? How
Yeah.
dare you?
That's the hill I'm going to die on tonight.
He's intriguing.
Oh, yeah, he's so mysterious.
He is mysterious.
There's a reason why Konami got rid of him, or whatever.
Wow.
I stand with Konami.
He got bigger than the publisher. That's
Yeah.
what happens.
With that being said, I want to play Metal Gear 5 still.
I think we go with, well, of course I like mine, but I would also go with Corey's about the review embargoes.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that.
I also liked both of your shooter one, Dan, and your card game one. I think those are valued.
Yeah.
Those are good.
I mean, I think the card game thing was more like last year than this year. I think companies have kind of learned their lesson about that. Because what was the other? What was the Valve one that came out?
Oh,
Artifact?
Yeah, Artifact. That's dead.
That died immediately after it came out.
Yeah.
So I think everyone's learning their lesson. Luckily.
But think of the clicks we would get if we had Kojima.
Yeah, that's true. For that sweet SEO.
I'm gonna put my vote behind the review embargoes.
Yeah, I like.
Because I think an online shooter, persistent shooter, could be good.
Right.
This Anthem wasn't.
Yeah, Anthem was not.
Yeah, I didn't really think of that. Is there one that's like really, really good?
The Division.
Division?
I love Destiny.
Destiny and The Division are both really good.
Okay.
Took them a while to get it right, but I really liked it when they did.
Yeah.
And they only got it right because it was persistent.
Persistent.
Well,
But-
obviously,
but
I'm
umching.
also good with the review embargoes because that was my number one.
I think
but-
that's probably my favorite one, only because every time I see that a review is not coming out in time for the game release, it bothers me. It really
Yeah.
does.
And I also think it'd be easy to police. Like, why can't PlayStation, Microsoft, Nintendo? Well, Nintendo already has a good policy in place, but why can't Microsoft and PlayStation say, "Hey, if you want us to release your games, you have to release reviews"? It's only good for the gamer.
Yeah.
And they want to move systems.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm good
Review
with that.
embargoes?
All right,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Good for that one.
Lock it in.
I'll put late. How do I want to word it? I'll just put review embargoes and then I'll come up with the wording later. Because as we clarified, the type of review embargo we're okay with.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. You're right. I'm not sure how to phrase that. Think about it.
We'll worry about it later. All right, so the next award is Best Keepsake. This award goes to a game that has given you some sort of takeaway that will extend past the game's lifespan. My nominees were Mario Maker 2, and that was for Reefer. Reefer, I don't know if you remember. I'm sure you remember, Corey, when he repeated a critique of one of your levels on the guy that made the critique on your level to them.
And he got reported.
He got reported for it.
And he's some sort of punishment, right?
Yeah, he did. I will never forget that. Whenever I think of Mario Maker 2, I think of that, and it's hilarious, and I love it. So
I didn't know that happened.
The world in which we live.
So my second one is from Sekiro, the Genichiro Ashina boss fight victory. I must have spent 2.5, 3 hours on that boss fight. And the spawn point was right outside the boss fight, so it's not like I had a long walk back. It was just repeat. But when I finally beat him, the elation I felt, it's probably the most relieved I've ever felt in anything. You know? And then for my third one, it's Outer Wilds. The first time I was floating around in space and I saw the supernova coming at me to swallow me up. It was a very scary moment for me, because you're just there floating in space. You're gonna die anyway, but you're powerless to do anything. The supernova just comes and swallows you and kills you. So I will never forget the first time I noticed that, because I had been exploring on other planets, but this time I actually saw it and was just floating in space watching it slowly comes towards me, knowing how helpless you are to do anything about it. It's unforgettable. So, Will, best keepsake.
I have Pokemon Sword and Shield, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Devil May Cry 5, Felseal Arbiter's Mark, and Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Did you forget about Felseal?
Totally forgot about Felseal when doing these awards.
I thought you guys might have.
I remembered it. I've got it for one of my awards.
What's Felseal?
It's the Final Fantasy Tactics-like game.
Oh.
Well, I guess it's good we're having these conversations, because I can still
Now you can
fight
talk
for
about it. Yeah.
Add them in later. I went more with games this year as opposed to specific moments, because we do have best moments, so I kind of saved the moments specific to the games for later.
Yeah, that's fine.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, not Pokemon Sword and Shield, because I have a lot of gripes with Pokemon Sword and Shield, but I also really, really like the game too. So that's one that I'm always okay with just kind of not taking seriously, but the other four, very much so. I have very fond memories of the other four games.
Uh-huh. What do you got, Corey?
I've got NA.
Not available. Nothing to take. No takeaways.
No, and it got that once when I was looking at this category, it got me thinking about this year in games as a whole. And while I do think there are good games, I feel like this might have been a down year.
Yeah.
I saw that sentiment repeated elsewhere, where people are like, there was a lot of good games here, but nothing defining, nothing generational, so to speak, this year.
Although I will say, Dan, I liked both your picks of Super Mario Maker 2 and the Genichiro fight. Although for me it would be Lady Butterfly.
Okay. Yeah, that was a tough one too. I think I got her on my third or fourth try.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure I spent days on her. And also, my fiance was part of the whole thing, watching me fruitlessly try over and over again to beat Lady Butterfly, to the point where she's texting me when she wasn't around me, did you beat Lady Butterfly yet? And also my physicality when I would fight her, standing up and throwing stuff and yelling at the screen and calling her names, and I got really into that.
Yeah, my wife actually was there when I beat the Genichiro, because she was telling me something when I was playing and I was not paying attention, and I beat him. I was like, I did the fist pump, and I was a little too loud because all the kids were in bed. She's like, are you all right? You don't understand. I've been fighting this guy for hours.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, so nice. I was sweating.
Definitely, I was sweating.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Eric, what do you got?
I also abstained.
Mm-hmm.
I got nothing.
Interesting.
Nothing memorable.
I actually, the more we talk about this, I would vote to have this category stricken.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I'm hearing from all you guys is best moment, not best keepsake.
Yeah, see, I tried to think of a mechanic specifically that I really liked in any game that I played, but there wasn't any. But I think that comes down to what Corey was saying, and it was a year of the rehashes, or a year of I don't want to say perfecting ideas, but refining game mechanics and refining ideas. And nothing like, at least that I played, was like super new or different. I know games like Disco Elysium and Control kind of had new ideas, but I didn't play either of those. So
Play them.
Yeah.
And I'm going to disagree with you, Eric, only because I think this was an award I really fought for. And I think you're right. Like this year, it doesn't really make sense this year because I didn't have any keepsakes. But in years past, there are games like That Dragon Cancer, Journey, Papers, Please. What was that one where you play as a Syrian refugee?
Yeah.
Marry Me, My Love. Bury Me, My Love.
Bury Me, My Love.
Yeah.
Like games like that where like it sort of changes me as a person, and they're not specific to any certain moment.
All right.
To the Moon.
All right, we'll give it another year.
I just didn't have that feeling with any game this year. So
Yeah.
I just look at it as a game that's gonna carry with me for years to come.
yeah.
Yeah, I know I get that, but I need a reason why, other than a moment that you liked in it.
The total package of the game.
For the category to make sense to me,
Yeah.
personally.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Corey, what do you think?
I like Sekiro.
Sekiro?
I would pick your Mario Maker example over Sekiro.
Yeah, I kind of like the Mario Maker.
I'm good with that too.
Okay. So Reefer.
Because again, I feel like your experience with Sekiro should be under best moment to me. I don't, you know.
Yeah, although I did use the Lady Butterfly example, but that was probably just the most extreme version of my physicality when playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm good with Mario Maker.
I'm trying to remember what I had for best moment.
We're gonna find out later on.
I think I only had one.
Okay, I do. Oh, they're surprisingly similar to Best Keepsake. So there you go, Eric.
I'm saying.
Okay.
But I do hear Corey's argument.
Yeah.
The games he mentioned are good argument for that.
Yeah. All right, so Best Keepsake, Mario Maker 2, Reefer Getting in Trouble.
Could also win the podcast development.
Yeah. For two
awards tonight.
I'm pretty sure I nominated that.
I love it. Reefer taking home the hardware.
Yes, he is. All right. So the winner for the Best Keepsake for the 2019 Thumbies is Mario Maker 2 for Reefer Getting in Trouble. Best Rainy Day Game. This award goes to a game that you choose to spend all day playing when it's raining outside. Eric, we'll start with you.
All right. I had Slay the Spire, Borderlands 3, and Outer Worlds.
Corey?
Go
ahead.
No, you're good. We'll discuss.
Okay.
I had Sunless Skies, The Outer Worlds, and Kingdom Hearts 3.
Okay. William?
I have Fire Emblem 3 Houses, Devil May Cry 5, Far Cry New Dawn, Borderlands 3, Pokemon Sword and Shield, and Outer Worlds.
Okay. I've got Fire Emblem 3 Houses, Pokemon Sword, Luigi's Mansion 3, and World of Warcraft Classic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Corey, no World of Warcraft for you on that one.
No. I feel like I tend to go single player in this category, and I think a lot of it is the escapist part of it. For me, I want to be playing something that whisks me off to another place. And that's a little bit harder to do in a multiplayer game. Not that it can't be done,
Sure.
but that's where my head's at with that. I usually opt for a game that has a pretty environment and welcoming, although Sunless Skies is the opposite of that. But it does a really good job of taking you somewhere else and sucking up a ton of your time.
Okay.
All right, fair enough.
So everyone said Outer Worlds, so we'll kind of use that as a starting point. Because I also would I could get behind the Outer Worlds vote. I didn't put it on my list, but does anyone have anything they feel strongly about for best rainy day game?
Fire Emblem. I lost
Fire
a lot
Emblem.
of days to that game.
As did I.
Yeah.
But we're only two.
Fair.
I can't say here or there about Fire Emblem because I never played it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like what I know about it, but I also know it's probably not for me.
Uh-huh.
It's probably a little too much dialogue and all that sort of stuff. But I respect Fire Emblem for what it is. Personally, I would be good with any of the games that I picked. Slay the Spire, obviously. I think I'm the only one that has any thing towards that. But yeah, Outer Worlds I think is a great rainy day game for the reasons Corey was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
For a rainy day game, I mean, there's a lot to it, and from what I played of it, I thought that the rating was really good. The characters were all super interesting. Just a really good place to get lost in. And you could really dig into that game on a long rainy day.
Uh-huh.
Take a lunch break. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. Next
It's
thing
like-
you know, it's time for bed.
It's like curling up with a good book.
Hey, it's
Except-
our version of curling up with a good book.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And I think of the games that I picked, I think that's probably the best fit for that.
It's curling up with a good book without all the self-righteousness.
It's also a good point.
Yeah.
Doesn't piss me off.
Okay.
Slay the Spire, just real quick. It's so easy to get sucked into,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just you just play it and keep playing it and playing it, play it over and over again, and like it's got so much to it. Like deck building is in there, and like treasures and boss fights and all that sort of stuff. But I can't wait for you guys to play it. Corey, you did play it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You played it last
I was
year,
the OG,
right?
I was the OG. Yeah.
You played because it was in early access. It released full this year, right?
Yeah. Which is
Okay.
probably why it's not showing up on my list very much, because the majority of my experience with it was last year.
Last year.
You're the one that told me about it.
Yeah. I'm gonna download it when I go upstairs, so I will definitely give it a shot.
Could win 2019 game of the
Yeah,
year.
2020 is 2019. All right. Does
All
anyone
right.
anyone feel strongly about anything they want to make an argument for? Will, do you have anything?
No.
Corey,
No.
I think it's Outer Worlds here. boys.
Outer Worlds. It's almost unanimous. Like I said, I didn't have it on my list, but I can see that
You get it.
I didn't put it on there. I could easily have done that. So, the winner for the 2019 Thumby for best rainy day game is the Outer Worlds. I'm gonna put
All right.
Outer Worlds. Make sure I type it correctly because of the whole confusion thing, you know. All right. Next Thumby Award, Most Pleasant Surprise. This award goes to a game that most exceeded expectations, came out of nowhere, or was otherwise unexpectedly great. Corey, start with you.
Hang on, I lost my place on my list here.
Corey.
Most pleasant surprise. I had Fallen Order,
Mm-hmm.
The Outer Worlds,
Mhm.
and Gears 5.
Mhm.
Although, since I didn't include it, I'll say it now, but Felseal would also be,
Okay.
Arbiter's Mark would also be on my list.
Uh-huh. Will?
I have Astral Chain and Felseal's Arbiter's Mark.
Oh, okay. Eric?
I had Call of Duty Mobile, Fallen Order, Devil May Cry 5, Borderlands 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. That one also almost shouldn't count because I think I have Call of Duty game on that every single year.
Uh-huh.
Mostly because every year I say I'm not going to buy it again,
Uh-huh.
but not this year. I've already committed to next year's.
Definitely.
And I also had Slay the Spire. I'm actually going to take Call of Duty off there. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's my list.
All right. I have Outer Wilds, Untitled Goose Game, Cadence of Hyrule, WoW Classic, and Duty Mobile.
Duty Mobile, 2
Yep.
votes.
Honestly,
Yeah.
Duty Mobile for me was probably the biggest surprise. Primarily because I'm not saying that this is the one that should win, but for me it was the biggest surprise because it's a mobile game. it's Call of Duty. Usually those two things don't spell a great mobile game, but it was surprisingly good, and I played it for probably 2 weeks before I deleted it, which is way more than I usually play mobile games. So.
Yeah, I'll piggyback on Call of Duty Mobile there. I played it today.
Mm-hmm.
I still play it just about every day. I don't play it as much every day, but I try to at least get my login rewards. Play 1 or 2 matches here or there. I have a great time with it. I couldn't believe how well it handled.
Yeah.
I had talked about it when I first talked about it on here, that somebody had told me that I should try it. And I told that guy, I was like, oh man, there's no way that's going to be any good. Like, it can't control well. Like, there's just no way.
Uh-huh.
And I downloaded it, and I was like, holy shit, this is actually really good. It controls really well. I even bought the Battle Pass. Like, I would have, if you told me at the beginning of the year that I was going to download and love Call of Duty Mobile and buy the Battle Pass for it, I just said, no fucking way.
Yep.
Is that going to happen?
I'm totally on board with that.
So that would probably be my biggest surprise. Fallen Order, mostly, again, because it's a good Star Wars game, but also because of the review embargo thing.
Yeah.
I was surprised how good it was and how much I liked it.
Yeah.
Devil May Cry 5 I put on here because I had never really played Devil May Cry before, and I ended up absolutely loving that game. Same with Borderlands. Like, I've played Borderlands, but I've never been into it as much as, like, Dan, for instance. But Borderlands 3 was one of my favorite games this year. It was so good.
It took a bit to convince you to split that with me.
Yeah, I know. It did. It really did, and I was happy I did. That's why I put it on my list, because, you know, again, I was never huge into the Borderlands games. And then Slay the Spire, because it wasn't even on my radar as a game this year. So, and I ended up loving it. But Call of Duty Mobile is my number one.
Okay. Corey?
Yeah, I think you guys make a really compelling argument for Call of Duty Mobile, and I'm totally on board if that's our pick. I'll just throw out another point that I think is worth bringing up. Game Pass is really good at assisting with this category, because when games are free, like, you can go in with no expectations and be blown away.
Yeah.
Which, you know, happens with Slay the Spire, happened with The Outer Worlds, happened, in my opinion, Gears 5.
Yeah. None of us would have played. I wouldn't have bought Gears. I don't think anyone would have
either.
Yeah. So I just wanted to throw that out there. But I think it should be Call of Duty Mobile.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh yeah.
What's going on? We're giving an award to a mobile game, and not ironically either.
Not at all.
I was
still playing it.
I was gonna make an argument for Fell Seal, but your guys' argument's better. So.
I'm glad you guys liked Fell Seal.
Really liked it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy it on the Switch.
When's it coming to Switch?
I think it's already on Switch.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for a sale because I'm cheap.
Yeah. Well, hey.
All right, so the winner of the most pleasant surprise, the 2019 Thumbie, goes to Call of Duty Mobile. Wow.
Nice.
That is surprising. All right, next category.
Surprising pick.
Steamy pile of disappointment and or turd. This award goes to a game that failed to meet expectations or was just plain bad. I'll go first. So my number 1 game is Anthem, and my number 2 game is Kingdom Hearts 3. Anthem, self-explanatory. Kingdom Hearts 3, didn't think it was a bad game. I just didn't. It was kind of mostly forgettable, despite the set pieces and characters in it.
I mean, you also had no idea what's going on.
No idea what's going on. I did like parts of it, but it just kind of fizzled out for me.
Yeah.
So, and after all the hype that the fan base had put out for it, it wasn't bad. It just failed to meet my expectations. So we'll go ahead.
The only one I have is Anthem. I think that game's hot trash. I can't believe I split that game.
Hey, at least you split it, right?
Yeah, I would hate myself if I spent $60 on it.
Okay. Corey?
Anthem. Next question.
Okay. Eric?
My list looks a lot like yours, Dan.
Okay.
I have both of those games on it.
Okay.
I thought Kingdom Hearts sucked.
Uh-huh.
That was terrible. It looked like shit.
It did look like
shit. They brought nothing new to the table.
Like a PS3 game.
That game. Like, here's the thing. I played Outer Wilds, right? I hated it, but I knew that was my fault.
Mm-hmm.
I'm acknowledging that I was just bad at it. Kingdom Hearts just sucks. I stopped playing it after like an hour. I was like, no. It started to get a little better, and then I was like, you know what? There's so many other things I'd rather do than play this game.
Mm-hmm.
But with that said, I think Anthem's probably a winner here. I also wanted to at least give mention to, even though I did not play this game, I saw enough of it on the internet to feel confident that WWE 2K20 was a steamy turd.
Okay.
And if you haven't seen the clips, you definitely should look it up.
I feel like I saw one.
Oh my god.
Okay.
It's incredible.
I'm gonna check it
Giant
out.
Bomb puts a lot out, I think.
Nice.
Because they're wrestling guys. It's unbelievable that they released that game in such bad shape.
Still, isn't that like every year that they do that?
Every year it's a release.
Hmm.
But you know what? If any fan base is going to appreciate some jank, it's probably the wrestling fan base.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
So at least they got that going for them.
It's not a bug, it's a feature.
Yeah, right.
All right. So
But I think Anthem looks to be our winner here.
yeah,
huh?
definitely.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think we need to really talk about it.
Yeah.
I just want to say, Eric, thank you for shitting on Kingdom Hearts 3, though. I think you wrapped it up succinctly.
That's terrible.
So the winner of the 2019 Thumbie for Steamy Pile of Disappointment and or Turd is Anthem.
You know, now that I think about it, like, Kingdom Hearts 3, I think, is a worse game than Anthem.
I will say this. If you want to get into this, I had more fun with Anthem than I did Kingdom Hearts. And I was actually really into Anthem for at least a week. It clearly became, nothing that was going to carry on. But, like, I had a good time with it for at least a week.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts just sucks.
Okay. So are we going to change? I'm. You know what? I'm fine with this. Because I feel like mechanically Anthem is not that bad.
Exactly.
Not-
That's
not
where I
for
was
me.
going with
Not-
my...
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not. And you know what? At least it was something different. And, like, like you said, Dan, Kingdom Hearts was, like, built up and, like, been waiting so long for that.
Yeah. Anthem was a head scratcher, whereas Kingdom Hearts was like, what are you doing?
Like, for instance, we waited for how long for Diablo 3? Fucking game's awesome.
Yeah.
We waited for Metal Gear 5, one of my favorite games. We waited for Kingdom Hearts 3, and it's like, this looks like it came out on
Sad.
PS2.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
I'm good with changing it, but I don't want to.
I want to hear Will's thoughts. He's
I mean,
he's hemming and hawing over
I don't
it.
have a good reason to veto that because I actually do want to go back and play more of Kingdom Hearts 3. But I don't have a reason to veto you guys picking that, to be honest.
Let's approach it from a different angle then. Does anybody have anything about Kingdom Hearts 3 that they think is done well?
Yeah, I mean, when you word it like that, no, set pieces maybe, but they look like garbage.
It's colorful.
Even the set pieces, I would argue, are not very good, except for the Tangled World. I thought was well done.
Yeah.
But other than that, I thought they were pretty bad. What a waste of Disney property.
I was just gonna say, I just think with the characters and worlds that they have in there, and for it to not be as good as it was, I don't think there's much excuse for that.
It could be so good.
Yeah.
It could be so good.
I feel like the four of us could shit out something better.
Yeah. I mean, we already shit out Pokemon Go. They stole our idea.
Yeah, we did.
It's very true.
We're probably the greatest untapped developers in this country.
Definitely.
And we don't even know. All right, so Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yep.
Kingdom Hearts it is.
There's definitely more passion behind the Kingdom Hearts
Yeah,
one.
there is.
So,
Really
It was
There's
Eric's
no-
passion speech that convinced us.
Everyone's like, yeah, I get Anthem. Yeah. Kingdom Hearts. And I can't disagree.
Yeah, I can't come up with an argument to defend it, so.
Yeah, I mean, I like some moments of it, but like I said, for the amount of star power it has, and there's just no reason.
It's just got to be better.
Yeah, agreed.
Some of the super power animations are all right the first time,
Yeah, right.
but the 100th time they're a little,
Long
a
in the
little
tooth.
old. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so after reconsideration, the 2019 Thumbie for Steamy Pile of Disappointment and or Turd goes to Kingdom Hearts 3.
Nice.
All right, next up on the list, popular game we're least likely to play. This award is self-explanatory. I only have one game. It's Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Not because it's not good, not because I don't want to play it, But when it becomes finally cheap enough where I could buy it and play it, I probably wouldn't. So that's my only reasoning for that pick. So Will, go ahead.
If you guys were to guess what my pick is, what would you guys think?
Death Stranding.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Is that your only one?
Only one.
Okay. Do you want to give justification? Or you don't need to give justification.
You guys heard what I think of it.
We did talk
I
about
can
it earlier.
do it again if you want, but
We might need it to after
Will
Corey
just
Merritt.
doesn't have a passion for delivering packages.
There you go.
game sucks.
I do. I do.
Eric, what do you got?
I've got Pokemon Sword and Shield, Days Gone, and Rage 2.
Did Days Gone come out this year?
Yes,
Yeah.
it did. Those are good choices.
Yeah, definitely.
Corey, what do you got?
Is Apex Legends eligible?
Yeah,
Sure.
that came out
Came
this
out
year.
this year.
Because that would be mine.
All right.
I could
I
put that.
just cannot picture you playing that game.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna play any of those games, it's gonna be Fortnite because you guys
Yeah.
are playing it.
Right.
That's it.
Plus,
That's-
Apex Legends is pretty fun though.
Yeah.
I've heard. I just have no interest to
No.
try it out.
Yeah. I honestly, Corey, I could second the Apex Legends, and it's only because it doesn't have a solo mode. You can play by yourself, but I don't want to play by myself with random people. You have to be in
Yeah.
teams of 3, and I think they just added teams of 2. I would be interested in trying it if there was just like the solo mode like you can do in Fortnite. But if I'm going to play a game with a squad of 2 or 3 people, I'd rather play Fortnite because I know how to play it. So that's a good point with Apex, Corey.
Thanks, Stan.
Eric, what do you got?
I did mine.
Did you? What did you-
Pokemon Days Gone
Oh.
and Rage 2.
That's right. Okay. So does anyone feel strongly about anything specific here?
Yep.
Well, we know Will does. Death Stranding. Corey, what about you?
I don't think we can pick that one though, because Dan and I both want to play it.
I want to play. See what Corey thinks about Death Stranding.
Yeah, I'm with Will, but I also want to play it.
Okay.
You don't even get a weapon to kill anything in that game until like halfway
Well, it's
through.
not about killing all the time.
Will,
you
here's-
loved Life is Strange. You didn't kill.
Yeah, because
Will,
that game was
here's-
actually good.
Well, I mean, it depends who you ask.
Will, here's my logic. All right, you can't properly shit on something until you've played it.
I will.
And
go
even if you play it and it turns out you kind of like it, you can still shit on it because at least you've played it.
All right, what's this category? Popular game we're least likely to play?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna least likely to play Death Stranding.
I'm good with that. I'm just saying, like, in order to make your shitting on it more valid, you have to be able to say that you've played it.
I will go spend $60 on this game.
I
so
see
I
Will.
can
I
hit
see
it.
Will where Will's coming from though. It's tough to say that when the category is game we're least likely to play.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that at all. I'm just disagreeing with the general shitting on it
Oh, all right, all
without
right.
having tried it.
Okay.
Trust me, I've had to heard a lot about this game. It sounds terrible. Bad time.
I don't disagree with that either.
I think my strongest one is probably Pokemon. And to be honest with you, had I been thinking about it, that would have gone in my please stop category as well.
I would have backed you up a little bit on that.
Yeah, I know you would have. Wish I had done it.
Yeah,
It's too late.
Pokemon.
But Corey, now's our chance.
Pokemon needs to
It's true.
reevaluate a lot.
Now's our chance. That would probably be my strongest one
Okay.
as Pokemon.
Corey,
I
how
just
do you feel about Pokemon?
Yeah, I feel strongly about it. Although if I'm being honest, I am less likely to play Apex Legends. I feel like Pokemon could stumble in front of me somehow, and I'll give it a go. But I still think I'd be disappointed in it. In being honest though, I think I am a little bit more likely to play Pokemon than I am Apex. But
Okay.
fair enough.
Especially since Apex is free. You just have to.
yeah,
Dang it! You just have to download it.
that's right. That's a good point, and I won't. So, but I would support either.
Okay.
What were yours, Dan?
I only had Call of Duty for the reasons I talked about, but I also
Yeah.
seconded Corey's Apex Legends
So
later on.
it sounds like it's probably Apex or Pokemon.
Apex or Pokemon.
Ooh, stalemate, huh?
Yeah, it really is because I can't get on board with Apex because I liked that game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I definitely see why you wouldn't play it, but I just think, geez, Pokemon. ugh. Did they bring anything new to the table in this one?
Yeah,
Like-
Eric, Dynamaxing.
What's that mean?
Your Pokemon's big.
The giant Pokemon
Okay.
in the stadium.
So no.
Yeah, no.
They added like group rating, which I know is kind of a big thing for
What does that mean?
Pokemon fans. Do for the Dynamax thing. That's called a raid, and you can. That's the multiplayer aspect of the game where you join other players to raid.
I like the wild area
raid
too.
the Dynamax things.
Did they do enough differently that you think Corey and I might be surprised that we enjoyed it?
No.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna change your mind. I think you would like it more than you liked like Pokemon X and Y. But I don't think it would be enough for you guys to like the game, in all honesty.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it comes down to, do we give it to a game that just should be doing better at this point, or do we give it to a game that...
What's Will's thought on Apex? Have you played Apex?
Twice maybe.
Okay, so that doesn't count for you then.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I was alright with it.
Right? That's my thing, is like, do we give it to a game where two of us feel like we're probably not going to like it just because it's the same old shit? Or are we going to give it to Apex, which two of us have both said we liked?
Yeah.
And it's just not really Corey's cup of tea, which I get.
I'm fine with Pokemon because I didn't have Apex on my list, so I added that later.
I didn't have Pokemon on my list. If that's the logic, I mean, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I think you two are less likely to play Pokemon than I am less likely to play Apex.
I also think
if that solves it.
That's a good point.
I think Pokemon needs to do better too.
Because honestly, if two people are like, "Hey, let's play Apex Legends," I download it like that.
Oh yeah, I'd be in.
So
I wouldn't. But it sounds like we're leaning Pokemon, and I'm good with that.
I think it probably Pokemon is the more valid game here for you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
to Travis,
you guys are just making up for all these years past when you were shitting on mine, aren't you?
I just don't feel like fighting hard enough for Death Stranding.
Well, this is a down year. Let's let Eric have a couple.
That's actually a good point, actually. That's a really good point.
So Pokemon Sword and Shield. Okay. So next up on the list is We Demand More Award for Best New IP. This award goes out to a new intellectual property that we would like to see more of. Eric, we'll start with you.
I had Outer Worlds, Fallen Order, and Cadence of Hyrule.
Corey?
Felseal, Arbiter's Mark, and Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds and Felseal.
Okay. I had Sekiro, Astral Chain, Outer Worlds, and Outer Wilds.
We all had Outer Worlds.
You want to see a follow-up to Outer Wilds, Dan?
Yeah.
You hipster.
I would like to see what they would do with the second one. If they would make the solar system bigger with more stuff to explore.
I don't know, man. Nothing will beat the original.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
Maybe they'll slap a PBR logo on the side of your rocket ship.
I am wearing a beanie, so there you go. I just need my flannel. It's upstairs, so I can go get it.
Love it.
Since we all had Outer Worlds, is that the winner?
I think so.
Yeah.
Right?
As much as I liked Felseal, I just think it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Outer Worlds was my number one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement, too, that the second one could be something special.
Way better. Yeah, it's a great jumping board.
Okay.
Yep.
That was nice and easy. So the winner for the We Demand More Award for Best New IP is Outer Worlds.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm making sure I type it in correctly. All right.
Yeah.
Most Valuable Console. This is for the console war purposes. This award goes out to the best console. Corey. Let's hear it.
So it's Switch for me.
Mm-hmm.
Although I do feel like there's an argument to be made for Xbox here.
I agree.
And
I'm in the same boat.
Yeah.
Wow.
it's because of Game Pass mostly.
Yep.
But also if we're evaluating the console itself for 2019, we can well, we can't really separate from all the great exclusives that PlayStation has. But I guess in my experience with the Xbox this year, I felt like I got a ton of value out of it. I mean, the 4K HDR is really nice. I do appreciate that. I never thought I would. But just the amount of value I've gotten out of Game Pass and the awesome games that I've been able to play, and just keep myself entertained with games I've already played in the past, like, more Rocket League and stuff like that. That's all through Game Pass. So I do think if value is being taken into consideration in most valuable console, which I think it should, I do feel like there's an argument to be made for Xbox, but I'm still giving the edge to Switch, just because they had so many great games this year in past games that were re-released on the platform. There's so much you can do there, and we talk over and over again about just the convenience of the system. That's why I'm giving the edge to the Switch. But if anybody else is feeling Xbox, I might.
I had the exact same setup as you, Corey. I might even give the edge a little bit to Xbox this go around.
Wow.
It's been nice. Game Pass has been nice as my kids are getting into video games too. My son was expressed interest in getting Minecraft for his Switch. I looked, Minecraft is available on Xbox, so I downloaded it and he played it on Xbox. I didn't have to pay a cent for it, other than the monthly fee, what have you.
Right.
Which is
what?
Reasonable, and they had an awesome deal.
Oh yeah,
right. The Game Pass Ultimate.
So I pay $15 a month for Xbox Live and PC and Xbox Game Pass. To me, that's a steal. I've played I've gotten a ton of value out of it, like you said, Corey. I also like that Xbox is now doing. And I know I railed against this when they first proposed it, but the subscription, so you can spend like $15 a month for 2 years, and you get like an Xbox One S, Game Pass, and Xbox Live, and it's a subscription instead of just outright buying the console. I think that's a good plan. That's kind of the cell phone model for things. That'd be a tempting offer for when the new Xbox comes out, or if you want to upgrade to an Xbox One X, it's tempting. So, Will?
I'm pretty torn 50-50. I mean, it's pretty much between great exclusives and Game Pass for me. Because, I mean, Outer Worlds, we got that for free through Game Pass.
Yeah.
Like, I've gotten a lot of classic games through Game Pass. Like, Outer Wilds was on Game Pass. I've re-downloaded Hollow Knight on Game Pass, Fallout 3, Fallout 4, like so many different games. I just have Metro Exodus. I didn't get a chance to play it this year, but that's on Game Pass. So like it's all these games that are on there. So,
Dead Cells?
Dead Cells is another one. I have that on Switch.
One I wouldn't have played without Game Pass.
Yeah.
Slay the Spire.
Slay the Spire, yeah.
So it's pretty much between the best exclusives in the world.
It's really coin toss. Eric, you feel strongly about either one?
Well, jeez. So the order I put mine was Nintendo Switch, PS4, and Xbox. Because, and I will openly admit that I totally forgot about Game Pass when I did this, but it's a tough one because I don't think you can discount too much the exclusive part of it because Xbox doesn't really have that many good ones. But Game Pass is a great feature. So I guess it really comes down to how much stock you put into exclusives versus Game Pass, like Will was saying.
And Sony really didn't have any exclusive this year. Exclusives. Off
Yeah,
the top
if
of my
you're looking
head.
at just this year, then definitely Xbox would probably go above PS4 for me.
Yeah.
I guess, and that's kind of what we're doing, is looking at it through this year. So, geez, that's a tough one. I mean, I could get behind Xbox if you guys want to do that instead of Switch. I like them both a lot. I mean,
yeah,
I don't like things about the Xbox, like the clunky
the UI
interface. It's
terrible.
just brutal.
It's awful.
Terrible.
It
with the
should
program.
just be so much easier to use
Yeah.
than it is. And there are not really any good exclusives, in my opinion. So I think personally, I would probably still give it to the Switch, but I definitely agree with what you're saying about Game Pass and the value that you're getting out of the system.
Mm-hmm. All right, okay. Here's a question, Corey. Gun to your head: Switch or Xbox?
What are you taking to the island with you?
Yeah, I gotta have one.
Trick question: you
Switch.
can only take the Switch with you.
Still Switch.
Fair
Still
enough.
Switch. But I will contend that I still can be swayed.
Okay. Will, gun to your head. Switch or Xbox?
By Switch.
Eric, Switch.
Switch.
Yeah, I would probably be the same. Gun to my head, it would ultimately be Switch that I would choose over. Because
Rocket League and FIFA are both on there. I'm good to go.
Everything's on there, and it's the convenience. We have 3 Switches in my house now, so yeah. So okay, Nintendo Switch it is. Although Xbox made a valiant effort this year.
Oh, definitely the window closed. And when I made my list, I definitely thought that the gap had closed a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So most valuable console, Nintendo Switch. Nintendo.
Yeah.
All right. Next on the list is the Eargasm Award. So this award goes to a game whose music and or audio effects blew our minds. Eric, we'll start with you.
I only had 2 games here, Dan. I had Borderlands 3 and Star Wars Fallen Order.
Okay.
You gotta love all the Star Wars sounds.
The sounds are so good. So good. Corey, go ahead.
I actually didn't have any that jumped out at me as eligible, so I abstained.
If I could clarify on Borderlands, that was mostly due to the humor. Was the Eargasm part of that?
Gotcha.
Not necessarily the sounds of it,
That's a good point.
The dialogue.
Mm-hmm. Will?
So I have Devil May Cry 5, just from like the sounds the weapons make, just slashing against demon bodies. Like, it sounds really good. I like metal music, so all of that, it just sounds...
Oh, shit. I forgot about the metal music in that.
And one of the people who did the theme song used to be in one of my favorite bands, too. So
yeah, you know what? Will's right. I should probably add that to my list.
So
that music was great.
It's pretty good, yeah. And they scrapped the other guy who did the song because the guy that I like made a better song too. So
didn't we talk about that when we did that episode?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, I have Fire Emblem 3 Houses from the game soundtrack. Has some very memorable songs for me. Call of Duty Modern Warfare. The sounds that the guns make it sounds really nice. Like when I have it on like full blast in my room playing it and just like hearing the different guns firing and hearing the footsteps and all that stuff. And also Link's Awakening for the soundtrack as well. So.
I was wondering why you didn't bring that up, Corey. That's also on my list.
Yeah.
Link's Awakening soundtrack. Brace yourselves. I also had the Outer Wilds soundtrack.
No.
The Blue...
And you really sold out this year.
I can't help it. I listened to this all day. I put the soundtrack on on our Alexa in the background. I listened to it all day. Yeah, it's so good. It's like a spacey bluegrass music. It's very, very interesting.
So what do you tell her to play
Outer Wilds soundtrack? Yeah, it's so good. I put Sekiro in. The blocking sound that you make, especially when you get a perfect block, will forever be ingrained into my memory.
Gave me chills just thinking about it.
Oh yeah. Cadence of Hyrule soundtrack.
Yeah, that really actually should be on my list too.
And then I had Link's Awakening also for the soundtrack.
I'm just going to say right off the bat, the only one, honestly, that I would push for is Devil May Cry, now that Will brought that up. But I don't really feel super passionate about this.
Okay. Will, do you have anything you feel passionate about?
I feel very passionate about all of them.
Okay.
I would say my top 2 would be Devil May Cry, Link's Awakening, then probably Fire Emblem.
Okay. Corey?
Yeah, I'm fully behind Link's Awakening. But the only other one that spoke to me was when Eric referenced Star Wars, because you're totally right. How can you not love those sounds?
Pew, pew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are iconic sounds, definitely.
Great sounds.
Okay. So I guess we're kind of between Link's Awakening, Devil May Cry, and Star Wars. Right? Those are the 3.
So
I think Link's Awakening 3 of us have.
Yeah.
Devil May Cry, Will and Eric, right?
Yep.
But you guys have Devil May Cry higher than Link's Awakening. I'll let you guys hash it out. I like Link's Awakening. I didn't play Devil's May Cry though. So
I personally think it would be between Devil May Cry and Link's Awakening.
Yeah, I agree.
I think we can take Star Wars out.
Okay.
Corey, you agree?
Yep.
All right,
Well-
so if we're going specifically on votes, it would be Link's Awakening. However, you guys, if you feel strongly about Devil May Cry,
I mean, I have DMC as my number one.
okay, Eric.
And honestly, and this is my bad, I didn't even put it on my list, but that's because I forgot.
Uh-huh.
But when Will started talking about it, I remembered. We talked about it during that episode.
I remember.
Like, it reminds me of Doom
Okay.
and how good the metal music was in that, and just how well it fit the ambiance, I guess you could say.
Uh-huh.
It's just so good. And as somebody who likes that kind of music anyway,
Yeah.
it just brings it even to that next level for me. I think it just fit the atmosphere of that game so well.
With Bedlam breaking loose while you're trying to just
Oh
murder
man,
all of these
and the
demons. Yeah.
double bass just starts.
Yeah. Oh no.
Uh-oh, Eric froze up.
I'm back.
Oh, there you
I'm
go.
back.
Okay.
That was perfect, right?
Double
when you're...
bass.
Yeah.
Rocked my computer desk. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm okay. I had Link's Awakening low on my list. That was my lowest. The music was pleasant and nice. But it was mostly ambient and background music. So, I mean, if you guys feel strongly about Devil May Cry 5, I'm okay with that.
You're not going to give me another one here, are you?
Yeah, it's...
Wow.
Yeah, I'll concede for
Yeah.
sure.
We're getting soft in our
All right,
ears.
Will.
Wow.
Will, fist pound.
Well, we
Yeah.
don't have as many hills to die on.
Yeah, we're more
Which is my
passive.
new
Yeah.
favorite saying, by the way.
I don't care about anything anymore.
No, I don't really.
Just my son and my wife. That's about
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
God.
Yep.
Eric, do you remember some of the fights we had about the consoles?
Oh, yeah.
So fun.
And
Like-
Dead Island will forever be the classic fight.
Yeah.
I don't
Or-
remember that one being
or
that big. I really
That's
don't.
because you were liquored up.
Yeah, you were...
Oh,
pretty
I
good.
remember. That's
Well, I
my
know, but
point,
I'm
is I
saying
don't-
you probably don't remember the extent because you were so sauced.
Did we even like really argue about it?
Well, it was, I don't know,
Drunken arguing.
it wasn't like
It was kind of
getting
nonsensical.
heated
I
argument.
thought I
It
was just like pushing you to explain why you didn't like it, and you
yeah,
weren't having
over and over and over.
it. Yeah.
It
I don't
was one of
remember
those
being
things like,
heated, I
"You
think is my
need to
point."
Tell me. Yeah, and best console, yeah. Oh yeah.
Some good ones. All right. So the Eargasm Award 2019 Thumbie goes to Devil May Cry 5. Awesome. All right, next on the list is Game We Wish We Played. This award goes to a game we didn't get a chance to play this year, but wish we had. Self-explanatory. Eric, we'll start with you.
Okay, I've actually got 6.
Okay. Yeah, this is a long list for me too, actually.
Yeah. This, as the years go on, this one will probably get longer.
Mm-hmm.
I had Zelda Link's Awakening. I had Steam World Quest, Mario Maker 2, Dragon Quest Builders 2, Division 2, and Death Stranding.
Oh, okay. Corey?
I had 2. Greedfall, which is a game that's right up my alley, and I just didn't get a chance to play it. And then Will be happy to hear Death Stranding was my number 2.
I will literally walk out of this.
That's gonna win. Dan's got it for sure.
Number 1.
Are you serious?
Yes. Yes.
Number 1.
No. No. I am
I have-
not letting you guys pick that.
I have Death Stranding, I have Devil May Cry 5, I have Control, Disco Elysium, and Gris, which I bought Gris, I just haven't had a chance to play it. Fully intended on having played at least some of it before this episode, but I didn't, so...
I will say Disco Elysium was going to be on my list, but I had already had 6 games, so I could definitely get behind that one.
Mhm.
The one I feel most strongly about is probably Link's Awakening, but Death Stranding would be 2 for me.
Yeah. I think between Disco Elysium, Control, and Death Stranding, they're probably all about on equal footing. Will, you didn't list your games yet, did you?
No, screw me, I guess.
We already know our winner, Will, but go ahead.
Division 2, Children of Morta, Luigi's Mansion 3, Disco Elysium, A Plague Tale, and Greedfall.
Luigi's Mansion could probably be on my list too.
Okay.
Will, there's only one way that Death Stranding doesn't win.
We
Is it-
We make the case for Disco Elysium, right?
Or Greedfall.
Greedfall.
What is Greedfall? I don't even know what that is.
It's an open world RPG. Oh, Mavic in the chat says it was a great episode. The argument about
Dead Island
Dead
episode?
Island, yeah.
I'd like to listen to that again. Do you happen to know what number that was?
It was
It
early.
was early, very
It was
early.
definitely early because
Was
we
that
were
also
drunk. So.
was that also the episode I tried to talk about Botanicula and I couldn't pronounce it?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh yeah.
Kind of like your World of Warcraft issue tonight.
World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Where were we?
Where are we at here? Where are we at? Death Stranding then?
This is gonna put me in a bad mood the rest of the episode.
Well,
Here's the thing,
You guys
Will.
really care enough to give that game the one you wanted to play the most this year?
It's morbid
second
curiosity.
one. Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's like a train wreck. You can't look away from it.
God.
Yeah.
I'm not immune to getting into the hype for things. I wish I was.
Nor am I.
That being said, Disco Elysium is
That game's far more deserving.
universally renowned. I didn't have the people that hated it like Death Stranding did. I'm also a lot more likely to play Disco Elysium. Well, no, Death Stranding's coming to PC next year.
You're more likely to spend $60 on Death Stranding than
I'm
the
definitely-
$40 on Disco Elysium.
I'm definitely gonna buy
for
Death
a
Stranding.
world-renowned game. Are you kidding me?
I'm definitely gonna buy it when it comes out.
I don't think that's what the award is for, though.
No, it's not. But we do need to evaluate all angles here.
So you're gonna spend the $60 to play a game that potentially sucks over a game for $40 that you know you're going to love.
Yes.
I don't
Curiosity.
feel like-
I think that's deserving of it right there.
I don't think the purchase should factor into this award.
It's just specifically
I
game
agree.
we
I
wish we
would-
played.
Yeah, it's like, what game do you wish you played?
Yeah.
Ignore how you could have played it.
Yeah, and I feel like this award is not a quality award either.
Exactly.
It could be a game you wish you played so you could poop on it.
I hope you all spend $60 on this game and hate it.
I'm gonna buy it when it comes out.
Unreal.
Well, for me, it's just like, I love video games, right? Of course, I want to experience the cultural zeitgeist that exists within the gaming,
Yeah.
sphere. It's just, I feel like it's
Yeah.
not only is it my duty, I'm a little bit curious, and whoever just said, you got to play it in order to shit on it. I think it was you, Dan.
That was you.
That's
you
also
said that,
part of
That
it.
was you, Corey.
Yeah. Man.
That's awesome.
But yeah.
Yeah, but I'm
That's
almost positive there's other games that are part of the zeitgeist that none of us have played.
Disco Elysium.
Disco Elysium's one
Control.
of them. Apex Legends was huge for a bit. We don't really... I mean, Dan plays Fortnite, but Corey, you don't really
Yeah,
play
but
Fortnite.
do you know what they don't have?
Oh, God.
Kojima.
There's no Kojima in those games.
You can't argue with that. Proof's in the pudding.
Okay, so Disco Elysium is discounted based solely on the fact that it lacks Kojima.
Well, I'm just saying, I think that
No,
adds
I-
something to it.
Sure.
You know?
Can we change it to game we wish we played or Kojima game?
This is the first time I've ever been just disappointed in everybody
You
on this
see how it
podcast
feels, Will.
at one time.
This is me every fucking year.
We've all had to face disappointment.
Okay.
Yeah. This is your Last of Us
There's
moment.
so many better games that are way worth like us wanting to go play.
Well, we don't know that because we didn't play any of them.
They
But
are
the one we want to play.
They're just. I would. I hate all of you so much.
Well, again, Will, it's not a mark of anything other than
I don't
in
care.
this case
I could
curiosity.
I could care less.
Will doesn't want it to win. End of story.
Yeah.
All right, you've got to make a convincing argument for one of the other games.
You guys are going regardless of the argument I make. I feel like you guys want Death Stranding to
No,
win.
didn't
I don't know, I feel
didn't everyone pick Disco Elysium?
No,
At
Eric
least
didn't.
Corey?
I added it to my list after.
Okay, Corey.
I didn't, although in retrospect, it is a game I've looked at a couple times this year and said, I bet I would enjoy playing that. I am curious about it, but not to the level that I am with Greedfall, which was my number 1, and Death Stranding, which was my number 2.
All right, let's hear about Greedfall.
Stranding was number 2 for me as well.
Greedfall, it's just an open world fantasy role-playing game. That's reviewed well, and that's enough for me to be like, yeah, I should play that.
Yeah, we know a few people. I know a few people that have played it that like it too,
And have
so-
recommended it,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because
What's that on?
everything.
Everything.
Not
and
on
it's
Switch.
I think it's not even a full price game, right? I think when it came out, it was
That's
like
40.
one of the 40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's on Game Pass.
All right.
It is. I've looked.
Not yet, but I think it might be. Did I read that it might be coming?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Guess what? We would all play it.
Yeah, probably.
I probably wouldn't. But if Death Stranding was on there, I think that Death Stranding is our winner here.
I do too. I'm trying to push something else forward, but I think it has to go. I'm pushing for Disco
it's
Elysium.
my number one.
It is my
Will
number
nobody's gonna fight this battle for you, so it's either you convince us or it's Death Stranding.
I mean, how much more do you? I don't know. I don't know enough about these other games, but I know enough about why I wouldn't want to play Death Stranding, and I've made that clear the entire episode and past episodes. I just know that I would enjoy Disco Elysium if I played it, probably. I would enjoy Greedfall. I would enjoy A Plague Tale. I would enjoy The Division 2.
Plague Tale is one I didn't put on my list, but that I would definitely put on my list.
I would enjoy The Division 2 a ton, Children of Morta a ton, Luigi's Mansion a ton. Like, all of these games I would enjoy playing.
Right. And we probably would too. But we're more curious about Death Stranding.
Yeah, for me it's just curiosity, and I'm intrigued.
Now you have PlayStations, even.
Yeah.
Right.
That's not what the award is for, though. It's just which game do you wish you
That's
played.
why I didn't play it. That's why it's on this list.
I'm
not a different
well
one.
aware of what the award is.
Probably the only
Because if I
reason why
had
didn't
played
play
it, it could have very well been on the Steam Eternity list.
Yeah.
Probably would have been, too.
Maybe.
Game sucks.
But I definitely would have found out had I had a PS4.
This podcast is stupid.
Sorry, Will.
All right, we pencil it in?
Yep, pencil it in.
All right.
2019 Thummy for a game we wish we played. Much to Will's chagrin is Death Stranding.
Yeah.
I really thought better of everybody on here.
Will's general opinion of us
And
is
some Vaseline.
Okay.
I can't wait till it wins Ambassador game.
Huh. I'm gonna have to rearrange a few things.
You're right, I should add that to my list. Well, hang on.
Just kidding. All right. Next on the list, best indie game. This award goes out to the game that was developed outside the best game that was developed outside the AAA games industry. Will, start with you.
I have Wargroove and Fellseal.
Wargroove and Fellseal.
I think those are the only two indies I've played.
Okay. Corey?
I forgot about Wargroove as well, and that would be on my list. But I've got Slay the Spire, I've got Fellseal, I've got Sunless Skies, I've got Outer Wilds. For you, Dan.
Oh, thank you. Eric, what do you got?
I've got Slay the Spire and Wargroove.
Mm-hmm. I have Outer Wilds, Untitled Goose Game, Wargroove, Cadence of Hyrule, and Fellseal.
Oh, I would probably put Cadence of Hyrule on mine too.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of Fellseal, a lot of Wargroove. So those are probably the two, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those have the most votes.
Although I did have Slay the Spire as my number one.
Slay the Spire,
So did I.
so that carries some more weight.
I would definitely throw that in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd be okay with Fellseal just because I have a special place in my heart for that game.
I do have
I should say
Fellseal as
that
one.
actually.
You have Fellseal as one?
Yeah. Followed by Wargroove.
Mm-hmm.
Wargroove for me was fun for 5 hours.
Yep,
And
I'm on the same boat there, Corey. I liked it, but it wasn't. I only put it on here because I only played a couple indie games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I mean, I Outer Wilds I had because even though it just didn't click with me, I think it's like very much an indie game. So I could totally see that.
Mm-hmm.
But I do feel strongly about Slay the Spire. But I am also okay with Fellseal.
Okay. I'm okay with Fellseal.
I didn't play Fellseal,
Mm-hmm.
but 3 of you had that.
Yeah.
What was the other one up for number one?
Slay the Spire.
Slay the Spire.
Slay the Spire.
I would be fine for that one too. I don't really care between those two.
That's a tough one, honestly.
Make
I
a
don't.
case.
I kind of want Fell Seal to win, but I do think Slay the Spire is the better indie game.
Mm-hmm.
So do with that what you will.
Dan?
I have Fell
Or it
Seal.
sounds like you should have had Fell Seal and Best Keepsake.
Yeah, definitely.
I had Fell Seal on. That was on the bottom of my list, but it was on my list.
So that's why I
'Cause
said
did
when
rank these.
when I said that game has a special place in my heart, I then stopped myself and said, wait, I shouldn't say that because then that would apply for Best Keepsake. So,
Right.
But to be fair, I did forget about it when I was doing my awards. So maybe if I was thinking about it, then it would have made its way onto Best
That's
Keepsake.
true.
So I don't know.
I just think Slay the Spire it just brings so much to the table and has such replayability. Like I said, you could really get lost in that. It's almost like it's not like Civilization, but I feel like you could lose that amount of time as you do playing Slay the Spire. Next thing you know, you could be going up the map and a couple hours could go by and you wouldn't even realize it. And just building your deck and the different powers that you can get and deciding which path to take even is really fun to look at because you can see like where the bosses are, where the treasures are. I don't know. I just think it's a really, really fun game.
Do we dock it though, considering it came out in 2018?
Well, it was early access.
Early access.
Oh, so it officially launched this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember what was it. It was early. It was like February, wasn't it? Or was it one of the January games you were talking about?
This year?
Later. I think it was a
No,
little bit later.
I think it was Q1.
Q1.
Yeah.
Here, I'll check real quick.
Okay.
At least on something, it was Q1 because it came out for Switch later, I think.
Just based on what everyone's saying, I would probably also agree that Slay the Spire is probably a better game than Fell Seal. I liked Fell Seal, don't get me wrong. But I, just from what I know about Slay the Spire, I do think it's a better put together game. I remember Corey specifically talking about the story being nonsensical and uninteresting, and the characters not having unique voices.
It came out in early access 2017. Came out in something in 2018, and then 2019 and everything else.
Okay.
So it came out over 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Technically 2, because it launched end of 2018, early 2019 on everything.
Gotcha.
I don't think that's true, Will.
I just looked it up. 2017 early access late.
So did it just release on PC?
Yeah, I mean,
What did it release on in 2018?
I'm pretty sure Xbox. PlayStation, Nintendo Switch in 2019. I'm not saying to dock it for anything. I'm just reporting.
Yeah. Well, in any case, sounds like we're leaning Slay the Spire then, right?
I think so.
I am.
I know I am. As much as I really like Fell Seal and I want to give it something.
Well, so you're the only one that played both, and you picked Slay the Spire over Fell Seal.
Correct. Yeah.
I don't care. This podcast is a sham.
You didn't play Slay the Spire,
Will's
did
checked out.
No, I didn't play it.
you? Okay.
Well, I've got news for you. This podcast has been a sham since we started.
Oh, day one.
At least I respected
We're-
everyone's
we're-
decisions.
We're all just a bunch of pretenders.
Yeah.
Fake it till you
Just
make
an
it, right?
excuse. Just an excuse for us to hang out and talk about video games.
All right. So, 2019 Thumbie for best indie game goes to Slay the Spire. All right.
All right.
Best ambassador game. Now, this award is open to interpretation. We've all had different interpretations of what this award means. So, Eric, we'll start with you. What's your best ambassador games?
Yeah, I kind of struggled with this one this year. I only had 2. I had Borderlands 3 and Outer Worlds. Again, I picked Borderlands 3 because of the humor. I thought a lot of people could appreciate that. And like I said before, it has a lot that it brings to the table, including the multiplayer element, which I like for ambassador games because like social media and just social is such a big thing these days. I think Borderlands was a good pick for that. And Outer Worlds because it really shows off like storytelling that can take place in a game and cool characters, decision making. The gunplay is okay, not fantastic. But I think it did a lot well. But I think if I had to pick one, it would be Borderlands.
Okay. Will.
I actually abstained from this one. I really didn't feel strongly about anything to be an ambassador game.
Mm-hmm. Corey.
Yeah. So my criteria for this is it's the least offensive, best example of where games are at nowadays. And for me, it was Super Mario Maker 2. Because there's nothing offensive about that game, right? And just as a bad example, Eric, Borderlands has guns. I know that's a bad example. I'm just saying, if we're presenting a game to a mixed group of people to best represent the state of video games, and get the most amount of people engaged and interested in talking and excited about games, for me, it's Super Mario Maker 2.
Yeah, that's fair.
Is that the only one you have?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't think of very many as worthy.
Yeah. I also I had Super Mario Maker 2 also at the top of my list, Corey, for the exact reasons you said. There's a lot going on with it on social media still. Like, I get through Rated G Games, I still get people sending me their levels, even though I haven't played Mario Maker and Rated G Games in probably like 2 months, maybe. There's all the, the best tweet of the year about the Mario Maker level that won at the Game Awards. I think it was about I regret nothing, and it was all those spinny things.
I didn't see that, but that's funny.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm with you, Mario Maker 2. I also had Harry Potter Wizards Unite.
That's a good,
for the Harry Potter fans out there.
Forgot about that game.
Yeah, I mean it's this year's Pokemon Go kind of without as much pomp and circumstance. If you have a parent or whatever that's into Harry Potter, you could say, hey, let's download Harry Potter and we can walk around and do Harry Potter things. I also put Minecraft Earth for that reason. Minecraft obviously is well known by everybody, and they have their own area game. I know that's just in beta, but I figured that one would be a good fit. And then Luigi's Mansion 3 I put for my fourth one. Again, like you said, Corey, inoffensive. I think that's kind of important here. I don't know if you guys have probably seen the meme with the lady yelling and then the cat like going like this, and it's like video games cause violence, and then it's some like me picking my crops in Stardew Valley as the cat. It's like yeah, some video games are violent, but the vast majority of them are not, so.
And also they didn't cause violence.
No, I think that's such a tired argument. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, Super Mario Maker 2 would be my clear in number one choice. So
sounds like our winner here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't feel passionate about anything in this category.
Super Mario Maker.
I feel like this
2.
is a category we usually argue a bit about, but
yeah,
not this year.
Yeah. Next Thumby is so the 2019 Thumby Award for Best Ambassador Game goes to Super Mario Maker 2. Next up on the list, Best Moment. This award goes to a game that had an amazing moment or several. Will, start with you.
One I have is any hot streak that I have in Call of Duty. Mm-hmm. 2 is the character interactions in Fire Emblem Three Houses, especially later in the game when things kind of go south. Mm-hmm. And another one I have is playing as V in Devil May Cry. I had so much fun playing as him in Devil May Cry. His combat style was amazing.
Okay. Eric?
Yes, I had... I can't really get into too much detail this one because it's kind of a spoiler, but in Star Wars Fallen Order, there are a couple of set pieces with some giant birds that I very much enjoyed. Well, I wanted to get some clarification on this because I vaguely remembered the van entrances and the way the van shows up in Devil May Cry 5, right?
Yeah. I remember you guys talking about that.
I just wanted to make sure that I was accurate with that. That was always very creative and awesome.
Yeah.
The wrap up to the first mission in Outer Worlds, where you make your decision on how you're going to handle that, I thought was a really cool moment. And me going 40-1 in a Call of Duty mobile match.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's a good one.
All right, Corey.
I've got my top one is the Gears 5 Horde mode victory.
Oh, that's a good one.
Granted, that was self-inflicted through no doing of the game. That was a great moment. But I also had Borderlands 3, not for any specific moment, but a lot of moments. I talked about a few of them when we did our episode on it. And then my last one is Death Stranding, Norman Reedus. Just kidding.
I would have walked out.
Now you're just trolling, Corey.
I would have walked out because Eric would have been like, "Oh yeah, you know what?" And then Dan.
Well, you know, I was about half a second from seeing that. You got in there.
Yeah.
All right, so
yeah, just those two. Go ahead. Sorry.
It's fine. I have Sekiro, defeating a boss, any of them. Eric, you're right about the moments being similar to keepsakes. They are very much in this year's awards for me. Outer Wilds, again, the first time I witnessed a supernova. It's memorable. Best moment, also something I will take with me. The Mario Maker 2, beating a level you've been trying forever. For a while, I got really into doing the speedrun levels, and some of them I spent hours trying to beat, and when you finally are able to beat them, it's a great moment. So I don't have anything specific, but those are mine. So let's talk. What do we think? Best moment.
I didn't feel strongly about mine, so if anybody has something that they do.
I really think the character interactions in Fire Emblem. It's a shame, Corey, you didn't play it as much of it as Dan and I and Eric didn't play it, but those are what support that game.
Yeah. How about the choice?
Yeah.
That you have to make.
Yeah, at the end.
Yeah.
Just like.
So would that be your moment then? Like a.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, so to set the game up.
To put something specific, it would be the choice that you have to make partway through the game.
Yeah.
Well, so.
Kind of wraps it all up.
Yeah, kind of what happens. This is slightly spoilery, but like you spent this entire game like in a class with all of your other classmates from these different houses, and then there's events that happen in the game, and they all go to war with each other, and then there's a time skip, and you come back, and you end up having to like kill specific students that you built rapport and relationships with, and like just saying how the different interactions between the different characters, like because some of them were close with each other in other houses, and like it's just like how the voice acting is delivered is really well done, and just like the battles that you're doing are really epic, and it's just I think that part the game shined at.
Okay.
Yeah, I concur.
Did you get to this time skip, Corey?
Nope.
Man.
I'm good with that. I don't think I feel more passionately about any of mine than that.
How far was the time skip into the game? I feel like I played a ton of that
It's
game.
about 2/3.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Then.
Depending, I guess.
I must have been close.
How many hours did you play?
Couldn't tell you off the top of my head. It felt like a lot. Like
30.
How long is the game?
It depends.
60,
I was thinking
60 to 80.
Okay. Maybe I didn't play that much then. I was thinking like 20. I put into it.
I think my first playthrough was like 44 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
I think mine was 60.
Yeah, my first one, and then between my two, I think it's a little under 80 hours. I think it's like 78.
So the Blue Lions run, which is Corey was doing, was longer.
That was the longest one? Okay.
Yeah, so
The Golden Deer one was fairly short because I feel like I beat that one in like 30 hours.
I think that's second longest.
Is it really?
Yeah, Edelgard's the
Maybe
Black Eagles is the shortest.
Maybe just because I knew what I was doing, it went faster.
Yeah, because you can maximize the social stuff a lot better when you kind of know what's going on because you get the more activity points.
I skipped like collecting all the side items too.
Yeah,
the second time around.
Yep,
Okay. The only one I feel strongly about was Outer Wilds, but I was the only one that played it, so I'm not gonna try to say that should be it. I was the only one that played it enough to have. Well, yeah, no, I was the only one that had it on my list.
If you feel strongly, Dan, the other two are.
No, I would probably put Fire Emblem would probably be up there. There's a lot of great moments in Fire Emblem.
The only reason why I'm not getting into them more is because I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, you can't. We don't want to do that. Why did you stop playing Fire Emblem, Corey?
So I feel like Eric was making this argument on a recent episode, but I just I don't know. I just play games to the point where I feel like I've gotten everything out of them that I'm going to.
Sure.
And then, maybe I'll continue to play it to beat it, but probably not most of the time. I mean, I'm in that, like Outer Worlds, I'm really close to beating. It's just a matter of sitting down and doing it. I'm like halfway through Byzantium, so I'm really close. Fallen Order, I think I'm relatively close, although I never did the bird thing that Eric's talking about, so maybe not. But those are all games like I don't know if I'm going to boot those up again. The mood just has to strike me because I feel like I've gotten everything I'm going to get out of them other than seeing them through to the end.
Sure.
But I mean, I know that's not always true. I know I'm missing things in Fire Emblem. It's just the momentum that carries you to continue kind of dies off. And unless, I can be inspired to sit down and play again, it's not going to happen.
I was going to say, you're actually missing out on some of the best parts of the game, but I get it because there's a lot of time commitment to that game.
Yeah, there is. Because, I mean, because I like the first part of the game, but it really does get interesting after. That's where all the interesting, I don't even want
story beats.
Yeah, because everybody turns on each other at that point.
Yeah,
that's where the interesting parts are.
And
more interesting. I enjoyed the first part of the game too, and
I think Dimitri has one of the best character arcs in Fire Emblem.
I still have to do the Blue Lions. I haven't done that yet.
He's awesome.
I did the Black Eagles and Golden Deer.
And Edelgard's is awesome too.
Yeah.
But like Dimitri's is like he goes nuts. It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Great. He's a great character. I mean, so many great characters in that game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And even you don't get a good perspective on the characters in the other houses. Like I always thought Claude was like kind of worthless when I did my Black Eagles playthrough, but when I did my Golden Deer one, he's actually kind of a genius and a very intelligent,
he's
very
like
well spoken.
Yeah,
exactly. So I had no love for Claude until I played my Golden Deer playthrough. That's what's interesting about that game.
And guess what? They didn't sell it in 4 different parts, all in one game.
Oh, I know.
Wait.
Like they did. What was it? Fates?
Fates is that? I mean, Pokemon sells you the same game in 2 different
right.
versions. Is another one that they do.
Very true.
Yeah.
There you go. That could be fuel for, well, maybe next year's Please Stop. It's the Pokemon versions.
Oh, we're gonna get a lot more Pokemon versions these next coming years. Sure. Be ready for it.
Let's build a game and a half and call it a game in an eighth and call it 2 games.
Unbelievable.
Game Freak needs to get it together.
You bite your tongue, sir. No, I'm just kidding. I understand.
All right, I think we give it to Fire Emblem.
Best moment, Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
Time skip.
Yeah, I don't have anything that I feel.
All right, Corey, you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So the winner for the 2019 Thumbie for best moment is Fire Emblem Fates. No, not Fates. God dang it.
Put some respect on that.
Fire Emblem 3 Houses.
Back on its name.
Time skip. All right. Next on the list is the old standby. This award goes to a game that came out any year that we just keep playing. Eric, I'll start with you. I know what your number one's going to be, or at least it's going to be on your list.
Yeah, I had Rocket League, Fortnite, and FIFA.
Okay. Corey?
Yeah, for me it's also our game of the generation, the game of the decade, Rocket League, my number one, and Hearthstone, which I played today right before we recorded. Yeah. They're still doing new and fun things in Hearthstone that entertain people who suck at Hearthstone, like me, so it's nice.
All right, I have Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Mario Kart 8, and a recent addition to the list, Fortnite.
Yeah.
Will, what do you got?
I did want to say real quick for anybody who was wondering if I was going to be mad about the game of the decade, I kind of figured it was going to happen, especially as soon as I knew it wasn't going to be on. So I was all right with it. I accepted it. I just didn't like Corey's bashing of Breath of the Wild.
We'll have to get into
really
that.
Hammered on
we'll
it.
have to talk about that next episode.
I literally thought you were being so mean to it until I re-listened to it today.
Let that be a lesson, Will.
I was irate when I first heard it, and I don't even know why.
If only more people in this world went back and listened to the full sound bite rather than
and then
interpretation.
Yeah. I was gonna say
acknowledge that they were wrong.
Yeah.
That's what doesn't happen. Even if they go back and do listen to clarify,
they still try to justify their opinion.
Yes, there's no acknowledgement that I overreacted.
100%.
So thank you.
It's not what you said, but still.
Yeah, but still is the line.
Yeah.
So for me, I have Persona 5 because I put over 100 hours into that game this year. Horizon Zero Dawn, because I put like 50 hours in that game and loved it, and I'm probably going to replay it fairly soon. Dynasty Warriors 8, because I just seem to keep playing that game on the various different consoles that I own it on. Pokemon, because I'm always kind of playing a Pokemon game. Like right now I'm playing Pokemon Platinum and Sword and Shield and Smash Ultimate. So, Smeesh.
Okay. All right. So let's. You guys Rocket League, right? That's your top one.
Yeah, I feel like the only two that I shouldn't say that. The two I feel most passionate about here will be Rocket League and Fortnite.
Okay.
I feel like I'm probably going to get more backup for Rocket League.
Yeah, definitely. I don't want to put Fortnite too high on the list, only because I just started playing it. However, next year,
Right.
if I continue to play, it'll be higher up on my list. I put Smash Brothers Ultimate on my top because, as I said, me and the kids play that 3 or 4 nights a week. Mario Kart 8 is the same thing. That's one I'll even play by myself on occasion. But, I mean, Rocket League is probably going to be...
I do have Smash Ultimate as my one as well.
Oh, that's your one?
Yeah.
So it's Smash versus Rocket League, I guess, then, right?
Yeah,
The difference here is Rocket League has been out longer. I think that's an important distinction.
Yeah, that's true.
Sure.
So for you guys to continue playing Rocket League, even though it's been out for 6 years. I think that's important. I think Smash Brothers Ultimate is still kind of the new kid on the block, relatively speaking. It was eligible for a Game of the Year.
Yeah, for
past
this year.
So
Yeah.
I think you have to.
I rest
kinda
my
give it
case. I think Dan's made it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's Rocket League. It only makes sense to me.
We did
Yeah.
give it Game of the Generation, so.
There's that too.
Decade.
Yes, thank you. Gosh. What did we give Game of the Generation?
Skyrim.
Skyrim. Will was pissed.
Was I?
Yeah, you were not.
I don't know. I think we should go back and get a quote, because who knows?
Will was mildly irritated.
Mildly irritated. Slightly annoyed.
Yeah.
All right, next on the list, and next to last category is most shocking podcast development.
I think it's got to go to Dan's love of Fortnite. I can't.
My love of Fortnite. I also think it's worth talking about me and Eric liking Call of Duty Mobile. I think that's pretty shocking too.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, the two least likely to ever play a mobile game absolutely loved a mobile game this year, and it's a Call of Duty mobile game.
Yeah, that's true. And it won an award here. Maybe that's shocking.
That is shocking. And not award specifically geared towards mobile games either.
No.
Which is another distinction we have to make.
I also have Dan as an influencer.
Dan is an influencer. Also shocking turn of events.
Instagram influencer.
Yeah, the person who probably hates influencers the most is on the path of one.
I don't know. Well, I would argue, I would fight for that title.
I would also fight for that title
the most.
You know what I want is that sweet Instagram influencer cheddar.
Yeah.
God.
Cheddar.
You get rich off of that.
When you start going places and you see cardboard cutouts that say you must be an Instagram influencer to use this view.
Oh, I've never seen anything like that.
Oh, God.
Is that real,
thing?
That's a real thing. I forget.
Yikes.
I forget where I was. But they had it roped off. I don't know. I'm thinking it was just some stupid viral marketing thing that they expected everybody to walk past the ropes and take the picture.
Oh.
But who knows?
Trying to create something.
Yeah.
Beardless, I did an Instagram account for my Rated G Games kid-friendly Let's Play YouTube channel. And I've gotten a lot of followers in a short amount of time, so
I'm gonna take a look and see how many followers it has and then compare it to our podcast.
I think it's 600.
Well beyond
675 maybe.
673.
3.
Dan's milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
I think I started using it in like September, maybe.
Okay, so we have 61 followers on our
10 times, Dan.
Wow.
Dan is a sellout.
Dan, this is the second time tonight you've been called a sellout.
I would sell out if the opportunity presented itself.
Oh my God.
Hell yeah.
In a heartbeat. That's why I remember defending Green Day back in the day when everybody was calling them a sellout. Like, of
Yeah.
course they sold out.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you?
What are you, stupid?
No, they just want to play grungy punk shows for the rest of their
Yeah.
lives and probably die of a cocaine overdose at some point.
Right. They're providing for their families, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Anywho.
All right. So,
Man, we have
Jeez,
to pick.
this is a tough one. Dan, I gotta tell you, I still think you loving Fortnite to me
is
is
the
just,
most unexpected thing.
yeah. I really think so. I would have believed this year if you told me that you and I both liked the new Call of Duty mobile game more than you loving Fortnite.
Okay. All
Me
right.
personally.
Corey, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I'm on board with that. I will use this category as an opportunity to point out the fact that I did not like Outer Wilds. Just
As a
because,
surprise?
honestly,
I was surprised.
as a
I was-
podcast development.
I was surprised that Corey didn't, because I think I recommended it specifically to you, Corey. That I
Yeah.
thought it would be a game that you liked.
Yeah, and I honestly, Dan, I feel bad that I don't like it. But that's my level of empathy. Is like, I know how much you like it, and
Yeah.
you thought I would really, really like it, and it like hurts my feelings that I don't like it.
It doesn't. It's fine.
I just wanted to throw that out there, but I
Okay.
do agree with the Fortnite
Okay.
thing.
Will,
Fork knife.
fork knife. I never would have thought so either, but here I am.
But you're in.
I'm probably gonna play after the podcast is over because I play just about every day.
Yeah.
At least a couple matches.
Dan, it's bedtime.
You know what? No, not for me. I've been going to bed at about 2.
Me too.
Oh my God. I don't know how you do that with 4 children.
They sleep till 8.
I don't know how you do that with 4 children who sleep till 8.
Yeah, 6 hours is.
Mine sleeps till 7 now, and I'm like, dear God.
I can't imagine the people whose kids get up at 5 o'clock. I would not allow that. I'd be like, get your ass back in bed
That's right.
before I lose my crap.
Daddy was up till 2
Yep. Daddy was
Back
up
to
till
bed
2
with you.
playing Fortnite.
in a surprising turn of events.
All right, so let me put that. Yeah, no, I've got to finish the Star Wars challenges.
Mm.
Let me tell you, having a lightsaber in Fortnite is amazing.
I bet.
That's a thing now?
Oh yeah,
Wow.
there's a big Star Wars crossover event. That was kind of cool, but the coolest thing is using a lightsaber to cut someone down.
That is pretty cool.
Do you,
When you
do
leave
you
in
have to
close.
earn one, or do you just get it?
You find them; they're in loot chests.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's like a weapon every
Oh
round.
yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That is cool.
someone gets in close, and you cut him down with a lightsaber.
Can you block with it?
Yeah, you can block bullets. They put the first order Imperial blaster in there too
Uh-huh.
as a weapon that you can get. Yeah, you block bolts and sniper bullets, and
That is
it's actually
fantastic.
it's overpowered, the blocking especially. Because if you got someone bearing down on you with a lightsaber, if they hold up block, it's hard to shoot them. So,
Wow.
so Dan loves Fortnite. Okay. So the Thumby Award for most shocking podcast development is Dan loves Fortnite. So that brings us to our final category, which is 2019 Game of the Year.
Wow.
Beardless, in a year, he says we're going to get a really well edited Outer Wilds long play. That'll be how I experienced that game. Okay, I like that.
Yeah,
A well edited.
I'd be into that.
Yeah, that would be cool. JJ was in Fortnite for the event that was on Saturday, which was kind of neat. Had some cool parts, had some not cool parts. I'll talk about it during next week's podcast. Game of the Year. Who wants to go first? Game of the Year. I'll take volunteers.
I can go first.
Will.
Do you want my list of games that I threw up for contention and then my
You know
overall
what?
winner?
Why don't you tell us your personal Game of the Year first, and then we'll figure out. Then you can list your other ones too, and then we'll go around, list everyone's personal Game of the Year, and then we'll go from there.
Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Fire Emblem Three Houses. Eric, personal Game of the Year.
Devil May Cry 5.
DMC 5. Corey, personal Game of the Year.
Super Mario Maker 2.
Mario Maker 2. I like that pick.
Yeah.
So my Game of the Year is Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice.
I thought for sure you were picking Outer Wilds.
Oh, really? No, not quite.
Yeah.
It might
I
be
did
my,
as the pod went on.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
thought that's what was going to happen.
It might have been my number 2, or not. I mean, it might have been on my list. I only put 2 games for actual like talk about game of the year, but my personal game of the year is Sekiro. So do we want to talk about what the games we're going to nominate? Because obviously last year, I don't know if you guys remember, but it was split between Super Smash Brothers Ultimate for me and Will, and then you guys wanted, was it Red Dead Redemption?
Yeah.
And we
Probably.
ultimately decided on Celeste
Yeah.
as the game of the year. So
Wow,
I mean,
how
it was.
the fuck did that happen?
I was not leaving that Skype call until
It wasn't Red
something
Dead.
not Red
Oh,
Dead.
Will
was.
threw
Yeah.
a fit about Red Dead.
Yeah, and
Temper tantrum.
Celeste
See,
was,
we withstood our ground this year, boys.
the the consensus was that Celeste one.
It's so funny.
Yeah, because I said
2v2, and we were like, screw it, we'll pick something else.
Yeah,
well,
that was, honestly that was the way to go though.
well, I had Odyssey as one, and then nobody played it, so Smash Ultimate is where I threw my hat in, and then I said, why don't we just do Celeste, because we're not going to get anywhere tonight.
Everyone's like, okay.
I would be interested to go back and listen to why Corey and I, who both liked Smash Brothers, did not concede at some point.
Yeah, I don't remember the reason.
Being that we both like it.
I want to say, Eric, you said you didn't want to give it to a fighting game. Something
I could see myself saying that.
Something along that argument.
Yeah, I was right. Yep.
I think it's a valid argument.
Celeste is the winner.
I mean, I also had Red Dead Redemption 2 nominated for Game of the Decade, so I just think it's that good of a game.
Anywho,
Okay, so
back to this year.
the only other game I put on my game of the year list was Fire Emblem Three Houses for a nominee for the podcast game of the year. So, Will, do you have other things on your list?
Yeah, I had Devil May Cry, Fell Seal, Arbiter's Mark, Outer Worlds, and then Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Eric?
I had Borderlands 3, Sekiro, and Outer Worlds.
Okay, Outer Worlds is getting a lot of love.
In that order.
Corey?
Yep, so Mario Maker 2 is my 1.
Uh-huh.
Then Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening.
Okay.
Fell Seal, Arbiter's Mark, which actually pushed off Fire Emblem from my top 5. The Outer Worlds I had at 4, and then Sekiro at 5.
Okay. So, to me, it looks like it's between Outer Worlds and Sekiro, right? There's 2
I have
Devil
a
May
hard
Cries.
time giving it to Outer Worlds.
Okay.
Me too. But wait about Fire Emblem. That's my 1 year too.
Yeah, it wasn't on Corey's list or Eric's list.
Yeah, but Sekiro was Sekiro on Eric's.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That was my 1. I mean, if it's fine. Fire Emblem's in the conversation. I'm cool with that because obviously it's my number 2.
I'm not cool with Fire Emblem.
Well, what about
Yeah.
Devil May Cry then? If 2 of you had that, I mean, 2 of us have Devil May Cry.
That's the other one I was gonna suggest.
DMC5.
I'm also
I don't
fine
know.
with
I want to hear Corey's argument against Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
I just, like, for me, Fire Emblem is such a niche game, and I know this is a terrible argument for why I don't think it should be eligible, but for me, like, I have a hard time picking something that's niche, that is that niche for Game of the Year.
Life is Strange.
Although, I guess you could make the case for a lot of the games we've picked. I guess I don't really have a strong argument against it, other than, like, every game I have above that I feel like is a much better, more well-rounded game, and I would honestly rather give it to the Outer Worlds than Fire Emblem.
I'm surprised that you even it was on your list and got bumped. I wouldn't have think you would have had it anywhere near your.
I disagree that you think it's not a well-rounded game.
I really enjoyed it. There wasn't anything there wasn't anything special about it for me. I mean, we talked about the characters, but that was it. And as I said, like, I just sort of lost interest. Nothing really turned me off. There was nothing that compelled me to keep playing. Whereas a lot of these games did have that. Like, Mario Maker 2 is at the top of my list because I literally couldn't put it down.
Yeah.
I was pulling all-nighters building levels. That's not healthy. Maybe that's a reason not to have it on my Game of the Year, but I don't know, just my addiction to that game, and with the addition of the speed runs, the multiplayer speed runs, like I just think it's a special game. And I could make the case, like, there's something beautiful about every game I have in my top 5, but Fire Emblem is the one that just got bumped because Fell Seal I forgot about. I don't know. I guess I don't really have a strong argument for why I don't want it to win, other than there's just 5 games I think are more deserving.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Outer Worlds and Sekiro. You didn't put Sekiro on because you didn't like it.
I'm fine with it winning.
You had Outer Wilds. Eric had Outer Wilds. Corey had Outer Wilds.
Outer Worlds.
Worlds. Dang it. See, that's why I specifically typed it correctly in my thing every time, because I knew I would screw it up. It happens every time.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have it on my list, but is
it one of
I have a tough time saying that was the best game of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
I don't think that should win, being that 3 of us have all just said that we do not think that it's the best game of the year.
Sure, okay. So it's between Devil May Cry and Sekiro?
And Fire Emblem, I would say.
Yeah, Corey kind of because I have Fire Emblem at 2.
I mean, it depends if you and Will want to.
I would feel,
I want to have a discussion about, the DMC, Fire Emblem, Sekiro, and Super Mario Maker.
I would feel bad if we pushed aside Fire Emblem based on my non-argument.
Because I think,
honestly,
I mean, you said you didn't think it was a well-rounded game,
and I push that aside yet.
Disagree wholeheartedly with that.
Yeah.
Well, Dan, why don't you speak on Sekiro's behalf?
Sekiro again. It's a game that I stopped playing because I got to a point where I couldn't advance any further. However, that hasn't stopped me from thinking about it and wanting to return to it. I'm sure I will at some point. Maybe over the winter break when I have a little more free time, when it's not rushing the kids off to school and picking them up. I'll revisit some Sekiro. But it just controlled so well and was such an interesting, unique universe. And I really liked how they added this. It was the Souls formula, but they added it was so different because of the blocking, first of all. Which was a huge strategy change from the Souls games, which was dodging mostly, occasionally blocking, but and then the stealth stuff was vastly different. There was really no stealth in the Souls games, so that to me was made it be a well-rounded control mastery is really how I describe Sekiro. And when you're playing a video game, it's about the controls, right? I mean, that's your gateway into the game, and just because of how good it controlled, that was my game of the year. I really did like Fire Emblem. That's my number 2. Again, Corey missed out on the best parts of Fire Emblem 2, but again, if it didn't interest you enough to keep playing, there's that too.
So I haven't given my normal disclaimer I give during the Thumbies, is that I liked how we used to just pick our games and it was personal to us and it was our subjective opinions, and we didn't have to factor in anything else. That's how I think awards should be done, honestly. That said, I do have a great time hashing it out with you guys.
Yeah.
But then I feel like we find ourselves in situations where nobody's happy.
Where we pick Celeste.
Yeah.
Which I was happy with.
Celeste is a great
really good game. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was happy with that winning last year.
And that's kind of how I'm feeling about Sekiro right now. Is it's our Celeste, and I feel like that's the one I would be okay with winning. That's still in the running.
Okay, so let's look at it this way. If we were vote, because we could do a tabulation real quick and see what would win if we had done it the old way.
Outer Worlds,
right? It would probably it would be Outer Worlds or Sekiro.
Probably.
Fire Emblem would get 6 votes and then 4, so that'd be 10. Sekiro would get 6.
Where did you have it?
Third.
So 3. So 9.
Corey.
I'd Sekiro at 5.
So 1.
So there would be 10. So Fire Emblem.
DMC 6, 4, 10.
Outer Worlds.
1.
I had that at 4.
To 3.
4.
So that wouldn't get very. So it would be between Sekiro and Fire Emblem.
and DMC.
And DMC, are they all tied to 10?
Yeah.
Oh, so it'd
Because
be a
Eric
three-way
had
tie.
it at 1, I had it at 4. Yeah.
So there you go. We have
We're at 2.
there's no help there
So
either.
we're right where we thought we were. Well, we haven't talked about Devil May Cry at all.
No, go ahead. You guys make it. I didn't play it.
Yeah.
I'm sure I would love it if I
The
played it, but I
reason,
didn't
Dan,
play
you
it.
would absolutely love it.
Yeah, I know.
For sure.
I love DMC, so.
Yep. Yeah, the reason that I picked Devil May Cry, when I was thinking about all the games that I played this year, that was the one that I felt like when it was the moment and when it like came out and that's what I was focused on playing, that was the one that I enjoyed the most. And I was just like super excited to get back into it. And like we talked about earlier, the music in it really brought it to that next level. The set pieces when the van would come was always super cool and interesting and funny.
Yep.
The characters were really interesting and just like, I don't know. It's kind of like a, I don't know how to describe it. It's an eerie, artsy, weird
Bizarre.
vibe you get from all. Yeah,
Bizarre.
it's like Bizarro world.
Like, I loved how
You
much
know?
of an edgelord V was the whole game
Yeah.
for no reason.
Yeah, the characters were just so weird and interesting. And, that's not even starting to get into the combat, which was amazing. Like, putting the combos together and seeing what your grade was, based on how good you were at stringing combos together was so fun. And, like, the companions that you had, oh, my God. Like, I just thought that game was so... when I think of, like, a fun game, that's what I'm thinking of. And that's really what I'm looking for these days. Like Devil May Cry was just a really, really good time to play. And like I thought it was well balanced as far as like length of the game, difficulty of the game. That's what I'm looking for in my game of the year nowadays is something that just hits on all those notes. And I just felt like that was the one that did that best for me this year.
Ditto.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything that he said. That's why it's my number 2. Like, the only reason why I didn't win was because of how much I love Fire Emblem. Like, I've never seen a game get hated on by a community and then come out and everybody loves so much.
Uh-huh.
But, like, DMC, I think, is the best Devil May Cry game in the series. Characters are great. Everything Eric said, yeah, I wholeheartely agree with.
Okay, so here's another angle. So, if we're taking Fire Emblem, to take Sekiro out of the equation, since it's middle of the pack to low on the pack for everyone else, the two like hot games, I guess you could say, would be Fire Emblem, which has a 1 and a 2, and Devil May Cry, which has a 1 and a 2. Right?
It's a travesty Devil May Cry wasn't for Game of the Year for the Game Awards, in my opinion.
Personally, I would rather see obviously Sekiro over Fire Emblem.
Okay.
Me too. I mean, I would rather see Sekiro over Devil May Cry as well, but
this is it turns into Celeste for me because I would be willing to concede for Sekiro much more easily than I would Fire Emblem.
I'm fine with Sekiro, but if we're going that route, I will rather fight Devil May Cry.
Honestly, I'm cool with Devil May Cry winning because I really want to play Devil May Cry. I just didn't. I know I would love it, so.
Corey's not having it.
you're a sick bastard,
Well,
Dan.
well, here's the thing, Corey. I mean, what?
You're conceding your number one, your game of the year for a game you didn't play.
I'm the only one that had it at number 1. All you guys had it on the low end of your list.
I literally
We
didn't
all
have
played it. At least we all played it.
I
had it at
understand
3.
that, but
Corey, I didn't play Celeste last year, and I conceded for that.
Oh, you didn't play?
No. I'm not good at puzzle games or hard games or anything like that.
yeah, it's
I
a
thought you had played it.
extremely difficult platformer.
Yeah.
Well, you definitely should play.
Well, I guess I don't have a leg to stand on then, so Devil May Cry it is.
Wow. I'd be thrilled with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that too, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, Sekiro's my 1. Well, what? I mean, what's
It's the year of Eric, boys.
make a stand for
Let's let it
Sekiro? Make a stand for Sekiro, Corey.
I don't doubt that Devil May Cry is a great game. I loved the one that I played whatever year that was, forever ago.
DMC.
It's just it's just hard for me to agree to that having not played it and not even thinking about playing it. Like at no point was I intrigued to play it. Even when you guys talked about it, I acknowledged your opinions, and I'm like, yeah, I'm sure it's a great game, but there's still nothing driving me to play it. But yeah, it's like it's hard to argue against something that you have no experience with, when basically all you're saying is, well, there's this game that I did play that is in the running. Yes, I want the game that I did play.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I can't really make a strong argument for Sekiro because it was my number 5 game, and I was very clear about my issues with the game.
Well, and that factors into my thinking here, because I'm the so if we're talking between Sekiro and Devil May Cry, I'm the only one that had Sekiro like high up on the list, whereas Devil May Cry has a 1 and a 2.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I accept it. I just don't have to be happy with it.
Been there.
Yeah, I think we all have.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. What do you think, Will?
Fire. No, the DMC. DMC.
Wow. I'll tell you what, I was not expecting that.
I wasn't either, to be honest.
Okay.
Sounds like Corey was, though.
So the 2019 Thumby Award for Game of the Year for the Thumbstick Athletes podcast goes to Devil May Cry 5.
Yeah.
That's a good pick.
Good on us.
It's a sham the Game
You know
Awards
what?
didn't have it.
You know what, Corey? That's going to get us street cred.
Was it even nominated for that?
Street cred.
No.
You're probably right about that.
No, but people were furious about that.
Oh,
There was a
really?
lot of people complaining that Devil May Cry was not on the list.
Do you know what game did make it for Game of the Year for them, though?
Death Stranding.
Yeah, the Thumby winner for
Game we're
what's it
least
called?
likely to play.
game we were saddest we missed on, or what was it?
Get the category.
Game we wish we
right.
played.
That's the one. Yes.
Yeah, no, people weren't thrilled that Devil May Cry was not on the list. So
Well, you know what? It was on our list.
What was that? Remember where I insisted a certain game won
You
in
ins-
it?
Pyre.
One of our awards. Pyre, that's
You
right.
said Pyre
yeah.
won Game of the Year, and it was Breath of the
Oh.
Wild by a landslide.
That was hilarious. Corey, you could not have been more sure that
Oh,
Pyre
yeah.
won that.
I'm still convinced that Pyre won.
I literally put
then
the
I went
thing
back
in
and
the-
edited the episode to make it sound like Breath of the Wild one. There's some dirty play in there.
Yeah. There's some universe
man.
switching going on.
Beardless loves our pick. He says, "Dang, what a cool result! The hard rock punks will love this."
I told you,
Nice.
that's gonna get us some street cred.
Nice.
Definitely.
Post that one on the gaming subreddit. Thumbstick Athletes gives Devil May Cry Game
5.
of the Year.
Oh God. I wonder what would happen.
There'd be riots because Death Stranding didn't win. Probably.
Top comment would be who? Question mark.
Yeah. And it'd have 1 million upvotes or whatever.
And then when you say hosted by Dan from Rated G Games,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he has 600 some followers on Instagram.
the influencer.
Influencer, micro influencer. All right. Do you guys have any other thoughts before we call it an episode?
Tell you what, I'm very happy with the results this evening.
We have to title this one "The Year of Eric."
Yeah, this was my year, guys. It may have been a down year for games, but it was my down year. It only makes sense. Like, the Bills have already clinched a spot. This has just been my
I was
year.
gonna say it's Eric's winning year.
It was-
2019, the year of Eric.
well,
Well, at least in the case of the Bills, Eric, I hope it goes into 2020 too.
yeah, me too.
I would love to see the Bills go on a playoff
Tough
run.
schedule next year.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's true.
This is if we're gonna make any noise,
Yep.
that'll be this year.
Okay, Corey, do you have any other final thoughts?
No, I'm just thinking about Nini now.
Yeah, it's getting late. I've got to edit and all that fun stuff. So that'll do it for this year's 2019 Thumbies episode. I'm your host, Dan.
I'm Eric.
Will.
Corey.
Thanks for listening, and get out of my basement.